Ultra Instinct, the ultimate state of existence where a person can act without thinking. Without the need for the mind to process information, the body can react independently. Or in other words, it allows the body to move on its own. The angels are always in a state of Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball Super, but they don't have a monopoly on the technique. That's why Goku was able to learn how to do it. Then Moro was able to achieve it too by copying Beerus's abilities, and although Beerus hasn't mastered it yet, probably because we never actually see him train, or perhaps it's because destroyers are simply unable to completely master the technique because of their destructive natures, they can't attain the optimal state of emotional balance. That's why Ultra Ego would be the way to go. But Vegeta isn't a destroyer, so this brings us to the inevitable question. Can Vegeta learn how to use Ultra Instinct? As we saw during the Tournament of Power, when Vegeta tries to instinctively dodge in the anime by closing his eyes, he gets punched right in the face. So he gives up for the time being and focuses on what he can do. Whis also comments that because of Vegeta's fighting style, he can't learn this technique. He would be referring to the idea that you need optimal levels of self-control and clarity, so someone who's as analytical as Vegeta would just let his natural tendencies get in the way of him learning this technique. Though this doesn't mean he can't learn it. Vegeta will just have to completely shatter his limits and redefine the way he approaches fighting. In doing that, Vegeta should be able to go beyond the technique itself and come up with his own answer just like Goku. To that end, this story is what if Vegeta learned Ultra Instinct? Following the events of the Granola arc, Vegeta is a little conflicted. Deep down, he knows. If he is to really go down this path of Ultra Ego, he's gonna have to be cold again, but he just can't come to terms with doing that. It took him decades to understand what it meant to fight for others with all of his heart and soul. Is it worth letting that all go for the sake of acquiring more strength? Strength that wouldn't even be true to him. No, Vegeta just can't accept that in his head as he clenches his fist. Hey Kakarot, get ready for a fight. And I better see that Ultra Instinct because I certainly won't be holding back, Vegeta tells Goku. Alright, calm down, let me finish eating. What's gotten into you though, Goku says. Frieza has become too strong. Both of us got put on our backs in a mere instant. There's no time to overthink things. I'm gonna get stronger and fast, Vegeta states. The two of them are currently on Beerus's planet, and so both Whis and Beerus are honestly pretty interested in how this is gonna turn out. I mean, Goku and Vegeta going all out against each other, we haven't seen this in years. What do you think, Whis? Which one of them is currently stronger, Beerus asks. Well, Goku did come up with a new variation of Ultra Instinct. I'd say he still has an edge on Vegeta, Whis replies. True enough, and I doubt that's ever gonna change. For better or worse, Vegeta will always lag behind Goku, Beerus says. You know, Goku has received formal training throughout his entire childhood, while Vegeta has spent his childhood committing, for lack of better words, war crimes. He may be more useful in a war, but Vegeta lacks the strong martial arts foundation Goku has. This is why he has a hard time winning whenever the difference in power isn't big enough for him to completely overpower his opponents. I wonder how is Ultra Ego going to help him grow, Whis replies. It won't. Vegeta won't be able to go very far with Ultra Ego either. He isn't like Frieza after all. Whatever, I'm pretty sure he'll figure something out. He's always been a pretty crafty guy, Beerus says, and then he drinks his orange juice. Next, the duel between true Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego begins. I'm not gonna go easy on you, Kakarot. Prepare yourself, Vegeta says as the area around him begins to turn to purple and black flame. Ultra Ego Vegeta has awakened again. Right back at you, Goku says as he closes his eyes, and when they open, that distinct silverish glare is apparent. Vegeta plunges forward to attack, but the first few blows, Goku is in a near untouchable state. But he's using true Ultra Instinct and not perfected Ultra Instinct, so he's now once again as sporadic as he used to be before Ultra Instinct. So the next time Vegeta is within range to attack, Goku casually changes his stance and lands a solid kick to his head. Vegeta saw this coming but decided to tank it anyway. He took the damage but succeeded in grabbing Goku's leg. This is more like it. You're now less unpredictable thanks to this true Ultra whatever you call it, Vegeta laughs. You think so, Goku replies, and then he shoots Vegeta in the face with a ki blast, but he would tank this one as well, and he didn't let go of his leg either. and then he would proceed to slam Goku on the ground. It hurt, but now that Vegeta was no longer holding onto his leg, Goku uses instant transmission to get behind him. Vegeta sensed this coming, of course, so he tries to counter Goku's punch, but his body readjusts at the final moment. In fact, he just straight up uses Vegeta's momentum against him. Goku redirects his motion downwards and then lands a low kick. It sends Vegeta flying straight into the ground. He gets up 2 seconds later with the intention to win, but his stomach starts growling wildly. "Hey, have you eaten yet?" Goku asks. "Shut up and focus on the fight," Vegeta replies. Whis intervenes and tells Vegeta just give it a second. "You Saiyans aren't built for fasting. Continue training without food and you're only nerfing yourself." "Eat, Vegeta," Whis says. Vegeta would oblige, and Goku as well, and Beerus makes sure he hops in there as well before these two Saiyans eat up all the food. "Looks like you got something on your mind, Vegeta," Beerus asks. He was in a good mood today, luckily. "Yeah, I don't see myself surpassing Black Frieza with Ultra Ego. There has to be another way for me to become the strongest version of myself," Vegeta replies. How stupid. Don't mistake this, Vegeta. It isn't the technique that's gonna make you stronger. Jiren was able to match Ultra Instinct using his own innate strength. Try everything. That's how you'll find your answer, Beerus states. I agree with Lord Beerus. It's ideal to focus on one thing at a time, but what's the point if you aren't truly convinced it's the right way? Understand this, Vegeta. No matter how far you've come, you can always start fresh and go further, Whis adds. Hearing this, Vegeta gets up. Lord Beerus, Lord Whis, thank you for your input. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be off to Earth for a couple of days if that's alright with you, Whis, Vegeta says, and prepares to be transported back to Earth. Hey, wait you two, don't forget to bring me back some of that yakisoba stuff, Beerus stresses. Vegeta would give him a thumbs up and Whis would chuckle as the two then head back to Earth. Once back at Capsule Corp, Vegeta would head straight into his room. There, he would find his old battle armor that he used during the Cell games. Before he heads off again though, he makes sure to go tell Trunks to get as much yakisoba as he can, and then he would instant transmission to the lookout. Vegeta. It's been a while, Piccolo says, greeting him. Yeah, Vegeta continues. I'll be borrowing the chamber for a day or two. Piccolo notices that Vegeta doesn't seem to be in the mood for a chit-chat, so he tells him to just go right on ahead. Once he steps inside the time chamber, Vegeta would enter his Super Saiyan Blue evolved state and then brace himself to do something crazy. He would take a deep sigh and say, here goes nothing. And then he would try to release Ultra Ego on top of evolved Super Saiyan Blue. Suddenly, his entire body is struck with unreal pain. His instincts scream and he starts breathing heavily and is immediately brought down to his knees. As expected, Vegeta grunts to himself as it felt like his whole body was immersed in lava right now. This new form isn't compatible. Though I bet Kakarot's new True Ultra Instinct form could make this work as well. His technique is all about efficiency after all. For the next few months, Vegeta tries all sorts of variations. He wants to attain a hybrid transformation, one that uses the best of both, a destructive combination of Ultra Ego and his Saiyan instincts. This is not working out at all, Vegeta says one day drenched in sweat. So instead of staying in this one spot torturing himself further, Vegeta would, for an undefined period of time, just walk deeper into the time chamber until he knew exactly what it is that he had to do. As he walks, Vegeta recalls all of his transformations. The first time he transformed into a Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Blue, God, Evolution Blue, and now Ultra Ego. It's like each new transformation is just him trying to catch up to Goku. When have I ever surpassed Kakarot? Vegeta continues. This won't do. This level of strength wasn't enough for me to win last time. He pauses for a moment and grins. This is it, isn't it? Thinking I can't do that is not the way. It won't help me get stronger. Alright, I get it. I'll give this Ultra Instinct a shot. Not so that I can catch up to Kakarot, but because I must try everything. I must absolutely get strong enough to take out Frieza on my own, Vegeta vows to himself. For the next few months, he follows a rather peculiar way of training. Instead of focusing on his moves or ki control, he uses his mental energy to imagine opponents. Beerus, Whis, Goku, and especially Black Frieza. He switches between them all the time. It's all for the purpose of making his body learn how to fight without his will. That's why he was using his energy to imagine his opponents instead of expanding it, trying to figure out what to do. The first few times don't quite work out that well. Vegeta is brutally defeated by all of them. But slowly and surely, as his body begins to readjust to this revolutionary way of training, Vegeta begins to develop a sense for it. And then, 14 months after entering the hyperbolic time chamber, it finally happens. In a fight against an imaginary Goku who was using Ultra Instinct, Vegeta dodges all of his blows with near perfect movements and even lands attacks of his own. Note that this is happening without his conscious will. Vegeta's mind is controlling imaginary Goku while his body is fighting back on its own. Without even realizing it, Vegeta had ascended to that next level. Unlike before when he just wasn't ready to handle Ultra Instinct, he was different now. He was no longer held back by his own overthinking or pride. No, Vegeta had reached a level where his own movements could surprise himself. Now that I got that down, time to actually achieve this Ultra Instinct. I'll figure out what's next later, Vegeta states, and then he would exit the time chamber. Piccolo is a bit surprised to see him, but Vegeta leaves before he could say a word. Back at Capsule Corp, thanks to Trunks, there was a truck full of yakisoba outside, so Vegeta would summon up Whis, and once he appears back on Earth, they would take the truck and the two would head back to planet Beerus. Once there, he notices that everyone is a little bit shocked. Vegeta thinks it's because of the massive truck that they just brought to the planet, but he ignores it and gets right to the point. Listen, Whis, I think I'm finally ready to learn Ultra Instinct. I'll surpass Kakarot at his own game, and I'll also defeat Black Frieza. Watch me, Vegeta declares. Whis would just grin. Beerus would grin as well. As for Goku, though, what are you talking about, Vegeta? Right now, you're already using Ultra Instinct, Goku says, pointing at him. What? No way, Vegeta says as he runs over to the pond to look at his reflection. It was just Ultra Instinct's sign, but by this point, it had become so natural to Vegeta that he didn't even realize he had already achieved this 2 weeks prior after going almost 21 days without being hit by a single attack. Now, with a basic understanding of Ultra Instinct, where would Vegeta go from here? The long-awaited rematch between Vegeta and Goku finally takes place. Ultra Ego versus Ultra Instinct. It was a short yet intense showdown, but we stopped the battle before there was any victory. Vegeta had decided to go and train in the hyperbolic time chamber where he stayed for 14 months, and by the time he returned to planet Beerus, Vegeta may not have realized it himself, but he was already using Ultra Instinct. Of course, be sure you guys go check out the previous parts of what if Vegeta learned Ultra Instinct too, because this story is gonna get wild. But as far as where we go from here on out, well, let's hop right in. After his return, Vegeta declares that he was ready to learn Ultra Instinct. He'll surpass Kakarot at his own game, and he'll also defeat Black Frieza. Goku, Beerus, and Whis were rather surprised by the disconnect between Vegeta's words and his appearance. After all, Vegeta had already learned the technique. Wow, it hasn't even been 2 days since you left. Must have used the hyperbolic time chamber, Whis says, and then asks, well, Goku was able to unlock Ultra Instinct because of the daring nature of the situation he was in, but if you learned it all by yourself, all alone, what did you even do, Vegeta? I did mental image training. There, in the hyperbolic time chamber, I consistently fought the mental images of the people I needed to surpass. Lord Beerus, Kakarot, Frieza, and even you, Whis. Honestly, I want to train with an image of Broly too, but his fighting style is too wild and unpredictable for me to even imagine, Vegeta explains. Right as he says this though, Whis' entire facial expression changes. You can't imagine Broly, but you were able to imagine me and Lord Beerus. Are you sure you understand the true difference between us, Vegeta? That doesn't really make sense, Whis asks. No, I don't. But whatever, I'm still gonna surpass everyone. I'll try everything, and in doing so, I'll develop a strength that has never been discovered before. An ultimate form that no one has ever seen. That is my current goal. To that end, Ultra Instinct is just a stepping stone, Vegeta replies. Hearing this, Beerus claps. 100 points for the Saiyan with a bad hairline, Beerus says. You're finally starting to look like a warrior who can surpass me one day, but what now? Will you learn to master Ultra Instinct? Then what? I'm telling you for your own good, Vegeta. As you are right now, you will never defeat Kakarot. Let alone me, and don't even think about Whis. You won't even be able to defeat Frieza either. Be it Ultra Ego or Ultra Instinct, both of those forms are incomplete when it comes to you. Well, I don't have to give you an answer right now, do I? I'll figure out the next step once I'm done with mastering Ultra Instinct, Vegeta replies. He then asks Goku for a quick battle, and before we know it, it was Ultra Instinct versus Ultra Ego. But now, it was finally time for Goku's true Ultra Instinct versus Vegeta's Ultra Instinct sign. Vegeta still isn't used to the idea that he can use Ultra Instinct, but of course that's not a problem. He wasn't planning on using it. During this battle with Goku, Vegeta plans on fighting the same way as he did against Goku's images in the hyperbolic time chamber. Their auras would flare up. Vegeta's Ultra Instinct is like a raging flame, while Goku seems to be in a state of unnerved tranquility. The battle kicks off and both of them plunge forward towards each other at the same time. Vegeta somehow eclipses Goku's vision and then appears behind him. He was about to kick him in the head when Goku graciously dodges the attack and grabs Vegeta's leg. He swirls him around with one hand over his head and then throws him high in the air. Goku would leap into the air, and within an instant he was above Vegeta, ready to hammer him back down to the ground, but Vegeta saw it coming. Thanks to Ultra Instinct, he would involuntarily move and kicks Goku in the head. This time he did succeed. Goku was about to hit the ground, but he gently taps the surface with his hand and returns unharmed. That was good, Vegeta. It was like we weren't thinking at all. The battle just happened on its own, Goku says excitedly. True, my body is moving on its own, and I'm just using my mind to observe the battle. Kinda feels as though we're more like bystanders in this, Vegeta says. He was actually enjoying this. But unlike Goku, who had only unleashed his true Ultra Instinct form for the sake of this battle, Vegeta had been using it for a while now. In our previous video, he had already been in this form for weeks at a time without knowing. Suddenly, an extreme electric pulse runs down his spine. It was like all the built-up fatigue and pain was just lying dormant until Vegeta's body couldn't physically take it anymore. Then all of it shows up at once, almost like your adrenaline wearing off when you got really hurt. Vegeta experiences a complete breakdown of his body and collapses. Once again, Goku and Vegeta just couldn't finish their battle. That was gonna happen, it was only a matter of time. Vegeta was in this state when he showed up here. He's probably been like this since his last mental image battle in the hyperbolic time chamber, or maybe even before that for all we know. Though one thing is for sure, he definitely lasted way longer than Goku, Whis comments. Yeah, not that I'm on his side or anything, but Goku did manage to awaken and perfect the form within the 48 minutes of the tournament. Both are impressive. That's true, but Vegeta used Ultra Instinct when he was alone in the hyperbolic time chamber. That's just as impressive. Besides, these two are going to continue to grow stronger. They may very well render their previous feats obsolete by doing something much more inconceivable, Whis states. Ha, I see what this is about, Whis. You're planning on teaching Vegeta how to use Ultra Instinct, aren't you, Beerus laughs. That is indeed the plan, Whis says. I'll do what I can. He then goes on to heal him, and afterwards, Vegeta's official training with Whis would begin. Ah yes, the drawback of using Ultra Instinct. It put too much of a strain on my body and I just shut down, Vegeta says after getting healed by Whis. You did pretty well though. How was it, Vegeta? How do you compare Ultra Instinct to Ultra Ego, Whis asks. Honestly, it felt like a spiritual experience. Ultra Ego is too unrefined in comparison. As Vegeta says this, he can feel Beerus glaring at him. Whis would laugh a little, of course, and then says, Vegeta, but you haven't tasted the true power of either technique yet. Alright, I guess for the time being, I'll teach you how to use perfected Ultra Instinct. Since you've done your homework, it shouldn't take long. Now let's see. Yeah, let's do a short little crash course on movements. I'll fix your form and forcibly make you master Ultra Instinct. Wait, you can do that? Then why hasn't Lord Beerus mastered Ultra Instinct yet, Vegeta asks. Well, he just doesn't feel like it. Whatever, we're beginning right now, Vegeta, get ready, Whis states, and then he slaps him with his staff. He keeps hitting Vegeta with his staff until his body just automatically enters Ultra Instinct on his own. Only then is Vegeta able to dodge a hit, but there was no time to even catch his breath. After Vegeta starts adapting to the pace, Whis would turn it up a little bit, and Vegeta would keep getting smacked around even in Ultra Instinct. This time he can't dodge because the slightest inconsistency in his movements is enough for Whis to read him completely. And so from now until forever, as long as Vegeta doesn't master Ultra Instinct, he's gonna keep getting hit by Whis. Beerus walks off board, but Goku is on the edge of his seats watching Vegeta versus Whis right now. "Hang in there, Vegeta," he says. Meanwhile, inside Vegeta's head, he could see all of Whis' attacks coming, but his body is always just one step short of completely dodging them, and Whis was making sure to exploit everything Vegeta did wrong. "His hits are nothing like what I imagined them to be in my mental training. Whis is just too strong," Vegeta says to himself. He was still processing his thoughts even as he gets hit. Vegeta is curious, so for a moment he releases his Ultra Instinct just to see what happens, and immediately he was hit by a barrage of attacks from Whis. It was like getting jumped by 100 opponents at one time. Vegeta was not ready for this. However, as much as these hits hurt, they weren't nearly strong enough to knock him out. That was the bright side. Vegeta always had a chance. Vegeta would catch his breath and promptly enters Ultra Instinct again. Then, without thinking, he experiences a sudden wave of fear. It was his instinct screaming at him that Whis' next attack isn't gonna be anything like it was before. Unless he completely dodged it, he was gonna die. That sensation of fear was just too overwhelming, so much so that it basically set Vegeta free. Something inside his head breaks, and for a brief moment in time, Vegeta's mind comes to a complete standstill. There was no thought, nothing. His mind is now completely silent. That's right, all the distractions that were keeping Vegeta from making the full use of this form are now gone. Right before Whis' attack hits him, Vegeta moves in a calm and serene manner that Whis had never seen from him before. His hair would turn silver, and he gracefully dodges Whis' attack. It was only for a moment though, as after he was done dodging, all that fear and all those thoughts come rushing back into his head. He begins to gasp and breathe heavily. Vegeta had never experienced such a glaring contradiction between his mind and body. Well done, Vegeta. At least your body has now tasted what it's like to be in the perfected Ultra Instinct state. I think that's it for today, Whis states. Wait, what happened? I didn't even see myself doing it. What happened in that last attack, Vegeta asks. Come on, what did I tell you? Calm your head, Vegeta. You're always thinking like a soldier and not a martial artist, Whis continues. How about going to Universe 11 for a bit? I'm sure our friend Jiren will be a worthy opponent for you now. I can almost see it, Vegeta. If you're to fight Jiren in your current state, you will have an awakening. Hey, I want to fight Jiren again too, Goku interrupts. Vegeta thinks about it for a second and then says, fine, take me there right now. But why Jiren of all people? Wouldn't the assassin from Universe 6 be just as good of an opponent? I disagree, Vegeta. With Hit, your mind will be too preoccupied with all of the killing techniques. You'll be too distracted to see everything. Alternatively, I feel like training with Jiren would be better for you. Empty your mind and see everything for what it is. Don't be preoccupied with anything, Vegeta. Rather, understand everything in its entirety. See just how infinite you are, Whis explains. Vegeta listens closely, but as expected, he can't quite understand all this philosophical mumbo-jumbo, and if he starts thinking about it too hard, he'll get lectured for thinking too much. So, what's the answer? Well, whatever the outcome is, Vegeta has sworn by this path. But as for now, Vegeta's body has in fact experienced perfected Ultra Instinct for the first time, however his mind was still lagging behind a bit. This next test is going to prove just how much potential Vegeta still has within himself, as Ultra Instinct Vegeta versus Jiren is finally happening. Vegeta has finally mastered Ultra Instinct, and this what if story is all about his journey of self-discovery and trying to learn it all with the intention of eventually coming up with a transformation or fighting style that is completely 100% unique to him. Whis trained, or I guess forced him into mastering Ultra Instinct and then told him to go fight Jiren next. Alright, let's go, Goku says. Wait, what are you getting so excited about? It's me who's gonna be fighting Jiren, Vegeta adds. Now, I can take both of you, but you'll be on your own from there on out. Got it, Whis asks. Both Goku and Vegeta give him a thumbs up, and with that, we are headed to Universe 11. Universe 11, huh? I wonder what it'll be like. You think there'll be Saiyans or people similar to Saiyans in that universe too, Goku asks? If that was the case, we would have seen them in the Tournament of Power, Vegeta says. Well, what if they're just weak, like how Frieza used to rule over the Saiyans here, Goku replies. I don't know, what do you think, Whis? Are there Saiyans in Universe 11, Vegeta asks? Come on, you should be asking Master Zuno those questions, not me, Whis replies. And they soon arrive at Universe 11. And of course, Makarita, the Angel of Universe 11, notices right away that they've entered their universe, so she appears before them immediately. This is unusual. You're actually here to welcome me, Whis says. No, this isn't about you, Whis. It's because of those things you brought with you. Last time that guy, Guko or whatever, was involved with things, he started the Tournament of Power, so I'm just being careful and watching you, Makarita says. It's Goku, actually, Goku comments. Oh, whatever, we're here to see Jiren. Where is he? Vegeta cuts in. Probably out there saving some world, she replies, and just leaves again. And as awkward and helpless as they felt, Goku and Vegeta immediately look to Whis to try and find Jiren's whereabouts. Whis rolls his eyes, but realizes that it'd just be faster to take them to where Jiren was instead of saying anything else. So he gives in, and then he takes them to a planet called Mystoria. Goku and Vegeta are stunned. It doesn't matter which direction they look around, it's all so energetic and colorful and just beautiful. Whis explains that planet Mystoria is a globe of contrasting landscapes. Half of it is dominated by grand mountains and sacred buildings, while the other half is full of lush forests and magical fruits. Goku and Vegeta are curious about the kind of people who live here and what exactly is Jiren doing here. Whis observes the orb on his staff and then reveals to them that this planet is home to a very special race of people. Their fighting style is a bit similar to the contrasting nature of their planet. It's a mismatch of both magic and martial arts. Sounds a little silly, but not so much when you realize that this allows them to control the mystic flow of the planet. Whis gives them this instruction and then just leaves before Goku and Vegeta could ask any more questions. Now they're on their own. Vegeta senses plenty of people around them, but they aren't here for a meet and greet, they're here to fight Jiren. Meanwhile, on the other side of the planet, atop a quiet mountain, we finally see him. Jiren was standing next to a nameless Mystorian warrior. Are those your friends, Jiren? The ones who stepped onto this planet a few moments ago? He asks. No, I don't know them, Jiren says after a momentary silence, but in his head, his thoughts were going crazy. What are these two doing here? Who let them in? Why are they in Universe 11 and how the hell did they find me? Jiren had come to this planet in order to learn the way of the Mystorians. With the way things are, he may be the strongest in the universe, but he can't physically hurt the villain who killed his master. But if he can learn the special Mystorian martial arts, he'll be able to finally bestow justice upon that villain. Going back to Goku and Vegeta, they're surprised to see how the Mystorians don't seem to really care much about them, even though they're obviously not from this planet, but it soon begins to make sense. These are the sacred regions of the planet, and so it's not just them. Plenty of other outsiders are walking around as well, and out of pure luck or coincidence, Vegeta's eyes meet with a familiar face. He sees Topo in the distance. He rubs his eyes and walks away, but Vegeta grabs his shoulder from behind. Hey, where you going? It's me. Oh, wait, wow, it really is you. I thought the colors were just making me see things, Topo says. How have you been, Vegeta? Topo asks. Better than ever, he replies, and then continues quickly. Look, I don't want to waste your time. Just tell us where Jiren is, okay? We know he's here already. Yeah, and what are you guys even doing here, though? This planet doesn't look like it needs the Pride Troopers. Definitely among the top 10 most peaceful planets I've ever seen, Goku says. Whatever. Jiren is exactly on the other side of this planet, Topo points. He's training under a Mystorian master though, so I'd suggest not disturbing him, he says, but by the time he turns back around, Goku and Vegeta have already flown off. It doesn't take Goku and Vegeta long to reach the other side of the planet. In fact, this planet was smaller than Earth, and for an even better size comparison, it was about the size of our moon. Goku and Vegeta spot Jiren from the sky and descend down to the mountaintop. Yo, long time no see, Goku says. Hey Jiren, fight me, Vegeta says. Jiren facepalms, now being caught in the lie he just told, turns around and says, just please leave me alone, alright? I'm busy. But Vegeta didn't come all of this way to take no for an answer. He silently enters Ultra Instinct, and in the blink of an eye, he traverses the distance between them and appears right in front of Jiren's face. Jiren saw this coming though, and just as Vegeta appeared, he threw the first punch. He would throw a thunderous punch, but Vegeta was like water right now. He evades the attack and retaliates with a kick of his own. His attack lands, but then again, this is still Jiren. Something like a light kick from Vegeta, even with Ultra Instinct, isn't enough to make him budge. Vegeta pulls back before Jiren could land an attack of his own and then clenches his fist. He remembers the advice Whis gave him, to be infinite. Vegeta closes his eyes and lets his reflexes take over. Not for defense though, we're talking about offense this time. He launches a barrage of kicks and punches at Jiren, every single one of them blurry enough to confuse Jiren, and every time an attack lands, there was a visible impact. Jiren still remains unperturbed for the most part though. His usual stoic demeanor stays the same. After getting the hang of Vegeta's punches, he retaliates with a barrage of punches of his own. At first, Vegeta is able to easily and effortlessly dodge them thanks to Ultra Instinct, but every time Jiren throws a new punch, it was stronger than the previous one. Soon, he begins to affect the atmosphere as well, in the sense that even if Vegeta succeeds in dodging, the impact surrounding the punch still manages to hurt him. The force of Jiren's attack is just simply too great. His raw power was otherworldly. He was literally distorting the space around his punches. Vegeta can see and sense it all. He realizes that he'll no longer be able to evade the attacks in time right as one of Jiren's punches grazes his face. This is exactly what Vegeta came here for. It wouldn't have been fun if Jiren was still only as strong as he was in the Tournament of Power. That's right, it was time for Vegeta to step up his game now. He quietly takes a step, thrusts his palm forward, and starts charging a massive Final Flash. To everyone's surprise next, including Vegeta, the Final Flash starts seeming alive. This must be because of the nature of this planet, as any and all forms of energy are brimming with life. Suddenly, Vegeta's ki rises in response to his attack becoming alive. He braces himself and launches that Final Flash at Jiren. Jiren crosses his arms over his chest and tanks the entire Final Flash. It resulted in a massive, almost deafening explosion. There was an eruption of light that filled the entire scene, and when the dust cleared, Jiren was still there, standing tall as ever, but Vegeta was nowhere to be seen. Immediately, Jiren, Goku, and the Mystorian warrior sensed something high in the air. It was Vegeta, and he had been charging another Final Flash. You see, Vegeta's smart, and he learned immediately after that last attack that he could do something special here. And this attack was much more potent and more devastating than the previous one. Vegeta would get the bright idea to utilize the constant flow of nature's energy around the planet to manipulate it into his own attack, almost like his own version of a spirit bomb. Vegeta knew that Jiren had no choice but to tank this attack head on, or it would risk destroying the planet. That wasn't really his problem. This battle is about Jiren fighting him for real, and if he does that, there's no way he'll let it destroy the planet. So Vegeta unleashes his Final Flash. Jiren braces himself as he's definitely gonna stop that attack in his tracks, but right before the Final Flash would collide with him, someone appears out of nowhere and redirects the entire attack right back at Vegeta. It was the man who had been overseeing Jiren's training, the strongest Mystorian martial artist, Kubo. Now that the script is completely flipped, Vegeta's Final Flash is coming right back at him. That wouldn't be a problem either though, as he just uses Spirit Fission on it. He then lands back on the ground as Goku exclaims how awesome that last exchange this was. Then he extends his arm out to try to shake Kubo's hand. Kubo obliges, but Vegeta was honestly shocked that he was able to redirect his attack like that. Guess I should consider learning a thing or two about your magical martial arts as well, Vegeta says. Sure, everyone is welcome, but because you're starting after Jiren, ask him to show you the ropes in the beginning. I'll return in a week, and that's when the actual training will begin. Well, see ya, Kubo says, and then he just disappears. Well, alright, what now? Where did he go, Vegeta asks. Master Kubo is currently making a potion using magical fruits. I guess he only showed up because he was worried that the attack may destroy the shrine. He'll be done with the potion by next week though, the young Mystorian states, and Jiren just stares at him. He wasn't excited about the idea of showing Goku and Vegeta the basics, but he's the type who always follows his master's instructions. Vegeta, Goku, time to learn. Right here, right now, use your strongest forms. Show me where you are right now, Jiren asks. Goku and Vegeta just kinda look at each other for a second. Their strongest forms aren't quite that simple anymore, so they just choose to go with the transformations that they feel most comfortable with. Goku would choose True Ultra Instinct and Vegeta would use Ultra Ego. Great, I can tell you two have gotten many times stronger since the Tournament of Power. Alright you two, let's start with a simple quest. I'll have you two go and retrieve a rare magical fruit from this planet. It's called the Dragon Starr fruit. There are many of them, but make sure you finish this before dusk. The Dragon Starr fruit disappears at night and doesn't sprout again until morning, Jiren declares. And with that, Goku and Vegeta's training on planet Mystoria with Jiren begins. Maybe it was fate that has resulted in these three legendary warriors all training on the same planet, or maybe it was just pure coincidence. Whatever it may be, Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren are about to get much stronger, and they're about to do it together. Goku and Vegeta are currently on an unusual planet in Universe 11 called Mystoria, and well, although it wasn't the plan at first, it looks like they're gonna be training in the Mystorian martial arts under Jiren and his new master. Jiren and Vegeta have their little rematch, or more like Vegeta forced Jiren into a fight, but when Vegeta unleashes a final flash strong enough to completely destroy planet Mystoria, the strongest Mystorian martial artist intervenes and redirects the flow of the attack right back at Vegeta. Vegeta uses Spirit Fission and absorbs all of it right back, but the battle is as good as over now. Vegeta expresses his desire to Kubo to learn whatever the Mystorian arts are, but he just tells them that Jiren can show them the ropes and he'll be back in about a week from now, and that's when the actual training begins. After saying this, Kubo just takes his leave. Now, Jiren has asked Goku and Vegeta to go and find the magical Dragon Starr fruit. It's a fruit that only sprouts in sunlight, and because there's barely an hour left till dusk, they have to hurry it up. They both set out to the forest Jiren was pointing towards, and the search begins. Is this it? This is our training? I'm telling you, Vegeta, Jiren is using us to do this job for him, Goku says. Him? Nah, I seriously doubt it. That guy is too serious for his own good. Plus, I have a really weird feeling about this Dragon Starr fruit. Why is it so rare? They go about walking around the forest, but everywhere they looked, everything was glowing. All of the foliage glowing with magic. There was only about 50 minutes left till the sunset. That's when the dual suns of this planet fade away. Vegeta wasn't in the mood to waste another day over searching over a fruit, so he decided to pick up the pace a little bit. He closes his eyes and looks at the forest through his mind. Where is it? Just where is this stupid little fruit? Goku, on the other hand, would eventually come across this giant blue dragon. He thought that maybe it'd be better if he ignores the dragon for the time being and comes back when he's found the fruit, but decides to humor the dragon anyway. He looks the dragon right in his eyes and says, "I can tell you're gonna taste good." The dragon more or less understood what he was talking about, so he started laughing. Better luck in your next life, kid. Sure enough, Goku accepts the challenge, not even fazed at all that the dragon just talked to him, but he grabs the dragon by his tail and starts swirling it around, but the one who starts feeling dizzy first is Goku, not the dragon. Meanwhile, watching this all from a distance, Jiren and the young Mystorian are having a conversation. "Hey man, that dragon is sacred. You better not kill him or it's on you," the young Mystorian says. "Do not worry. The dragon can take care of himself. Besides, I'm watching the battle. If it comes down to it, I'll intervene. For now, let's just let them try and get a taste of true magical energy," Jiren replies. Meanwhile, at planet Belmont. "Who was it?" Belmont asked Makarita. "Whis and those two Saiyans he's so fond of. They said they were here for Jiren," she replies. "Interesting. Shall we pay them a visit?" Belmont asks. "What for? Unless you're actually planning to take one of them on in a fight, just leave them be. It's not like you're gonna win," Makarita replies, as she was clearly in an unpleasant mood for some reason. "Well, you're in an especially spicy mood today," he replies. "I am a destroyer, you know. Just let me finish another round of bottles and then we'll go see them. If I manage to defeat either of them, you'll have to apologize, Makarita," Belmont declares. Makarita really wasn't interested, but she obliges nonetheless. Going back to the forest, Goku has fallen asleep because of the dizziness, while Vegeta still hasn't had any luck in finding the Dragon Starr fruit. He looks around some more, but in the end, the hour passes by, it's already dusk, and so they know they can no longer continue the search. Vegeta was disappointed, but I guess he'll just have to try again and spend another day here tomorrow. Now, where is Kakarot? He soon finds him snoring right next to that giant blue dragon. "Did you poison him?" Vegeta asks. "Nah, it's his fault. He touched my scales. No wonder he fell asleep," the dragon replies. Vegeta saw no reason why that can't happen. I mean, he believes the dragon and then asks him another question. So do you know anything about this dragon star fruit?" The dragon pauses for a moment. He isn't so sure if he should reveal the information to an outsider, but the relaxed look in Vegeta's eyes gives him the impression that Vegeta can be trusted, or at the very least, he isn't posing a threat right now. "Alright, I guess I can tell you. The dragon star fruit is a fruit that shows up in response to one's innate magical prowess, so unless you're aware of the magical energy inside of you, you can try all your life, but you will never find the dragon star fruit," he says. The dots immediately begin connecting in Vegeta's head. So this is the reason why his mind couldn't fathom or just find it, period. The dragon star fruit sprouts into existence in response to your magical energy. "You know, that was really useful. Thanks," Vegeta expresses to the dragon, picks up Goku, and then returns back to the cliff. "That was quick. The look in your eyes makes me wonder if you already learned the truth," Jiren says. "Yeah, about that. Is there a specific reason you didn't tell us in the first place?" Vegeta asks. Jiren feigns ignorance. As stoic as he might be, he was being a little silly and just playing with him right now, but Vegeta was honestly over it. He wants Jiren to show him how he can become aware of his own magical energy so that he can hurry up and find this fruit in the morning. In response to this, Jiren braces himself to speak, and Vegeta immediately kicks Goku into waking up. He doesn't want him dragging them down, and he honestly needs to hear this too. "Are you sure, Vegeta? Yes, you can realize your potential for magical energy right away, but first, you'll have to surrender everything you know about strength. Super Saiyan, Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct, whatever. Forget it all and experience your body with the mind of a newborn. If you do that, you'll experience a level of power unlike anything you've experienced before," Jiren declares. Immediately, Vegeta starts overthinking everything. Surrender everything he knows? What does that even mean? How is he gonna get stronger by forgetting everything he's learned so far? Is learning magic really more important than learning the strength of the gods? Why did Whis even suggest them coming here in the first place? Vegeta's mind was going a million miles a minute, and he was doing the very antithesis of what Jiren wanted him to. Instead of surrendering to his body, he was overthinking it. He was overthinking everything hard. Then there was Goku. Since he had just woken up, his mind was already pretty empty. He listened to Jiren in a half-asleep state, and about a minute later, he became aware of his magical energy, just like that. Wow, what is this? This feels refreshing. It's like I've lived my entire life on this planet. I can hear the voices of the earth, the sky, the forest, and even the unusually appetizing animals. So this is what magical energy feels like? Huh. Looks like I'm ahead of you again, Vegeta, Goku states. The young Mastorian gives him a huge thumbs up because he did it even faster than Jiren somehow. As for Vegeta, his overthinking evolves into even more overthinking. He was the one who had been trying so hard to get ahead, even by coming here in the first place. He even learned and mastered Ultra Instinct, and yet Kakarot was still one step ahead of him somehow. How long is he gonna be second fiddle? Meanwhile, at Planet Beerus, Beerus was waking up from a shortish nap and asked Whis about where everybody was at. Whis explains that they were currently training with Jiren in Universe 11, as well as Vegeta's current dilemmas. I don't understand. He mastered Ultra Instinct, so he should be able to learn that magical energy nonsense too. Isn't surrendering to your body the same thing, Beerus asks? Well, yes, you're right, but the problem with Vegeta is that he learned Ultra Instinct without even realizing it. It just happened and he didn't even know until we told him. Vegeta's mental exertion tends to hold him back more often than not, so unless he just happens to be aware of his magical energy, he has a long road ahead, Whis explains. Well, now that he's chosen the path, he has to overcome his mind sooner or later. Personally, I don't care enough to go that far. It's not like I need Ultra Instinct or that sacred magical energy of Universe 11, Beerus laughs. Back to planet Mastoria. Vegeta was meditating in the heart of the forest. He didn't care about the mythical creatures or any of the poisonous stuff. All he wanted was to get a feel for magical energy. He would sit in complete silence for a couple of hours without making any movements, but then someone appears before him. It was Belmont and Makurita. "Hey, I was right," Makurita exclaims. "You conveniently chose Vegeta to fight because you know it'll be easier to defeat him than that Guko guy," she says. "Oh, shut up, just watch me, alright," Belmont says, and then faces towards Vegeta. "Hey, get up, I know you can hear me." But Vegeta couldn't hear him. He was in a state of trance. Vegeta had detached himself from the outside world and was currently in the realm of his mind. This is where he realizes what's the one thing that was holding him: his own pride. He was too proud of the idea that he's become so strong, both physically and mentally. This is essentially what's keeping him from complete surrender. He soon notices that someone was standing in front of him and wakes back up to reality. "What do you want, Lord Belmont?" Vegeta asks. "I'm here to test the strength of the Saiyans from Universe 7, of course," Belmont declares. He's actually more so here to test his own strength," Makurita says, which causes Belmont to turn around and scream at her again. Vegeta was in an unusual mood though. He glares right back at him, grins, and then states, "Very well, let's do it." This actually pisses Belmont off and causes him to make the first move. He launches a powerful Hakai Blast towards Vegeta, and the entire forest feels it and trembles in fear of this destructive power, but Vegeta effortlessly dodges it while entering Ultra Instinct. He then abruptly enters Ultra Ego and uses Spirit Fission to pretty much boost Belmont's Hakai attack, and the God of Destruction is left speechless. He thought Vegeta would be easier to defeat, but nobody told him that Vegeta can use both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego now. "It seems like there may be more than one being in this universe stronger than the God of Destruction, Lord Belmont," Vegeta grins. "I warn you, don't underestimate me, Saiyan," Belmont replies. The two of them fly off to the stratosphere where the fight continues. Vegeta is swiftly switching between Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, which easily puts him on top as the most difficult opponent Belmont has ever fought. Naturally, Jiren and Goku are looking up at the sky, observing the fight from the cliff. When Vegeta finally gains the upper hand and lands a destructive blow to Belmont's gut, he laughs hysterically. "Abandon my pride? No, I won't be surrendering to this planet or the magical energy. I'll make it surrender to me." Right as Vegeta says this, he felt rejuvenated. Every cell in his body vibrates. It was the magical energy. Vegeta's unwavering pursuit of his own pride was enough to make him submit to it. Insanity. Right after Ultra Ego and then Ultra Instinct, Vegeta is now on his way to gaining mastery over the Mastorian magical martial arts. Vegeta is well on his way to becoming an anomaly amongst those who walk the path of strength, something that not even the gods of destructions can fathom right now. Goku and Vegeta have come all the way to planet Mastoria in Universe 11 to fight Jiren and pursue magical energy. It's been a pretty awkward trip so far. Vegeta fought Jiren, but their first fight was stopped before we had a winner. Following that, Goku and Vegeta were given the task of finding the Dragon Star fruit, and so they go to this magical forest, but as it turns out, this fruit sprouts in response to one's innate magical powers. So while Goku easily gets the hang of it and gets the fruit, Vegeta is too much of an intellectual to let things just happen. However, when a certain God of Destruction ruins his peaceful meditation in the dead of night, Vegeta awakens a new kind of strength. He also awakens magical energy. Not by surrendering his pride or anything stupid like that, he did it by forcing the dormant magical energy into submission. He took it all and then made it his own. Be sure you guys go check out the previous parts of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct as well, because this is turning out to probably be my most creative and unusual what ifs, I guess. As for the story from here on out, well, let's hop right in. So, the paranoid Saiyan has learned a few new tricks, huh? Belmont says with a raging, arrogant smile on his face. It's more than just a trick. A clown stuck in the status quo such as yourself will never understand, Vegeta replies. He was unbothered right now. Without waiting, Vegeta plunges forward and unleashes a flurry of blows. Belmont is easily able to dodge him though. They were just simple consecutive punches, but Vegeta didn't stop. He kept throwing them. Belmont can instinctively understand that something was up, so he asks, "Hey, what are you up to?" "Honestly, I have no idea," Vegeta replies. This answer stuns Belmont, but Vegeta is genuinely telling the truth. Ever since he awakened this magical energy, he was allowing his body to just move on its own while closely observing everything through his mind. He isn't consciously throwing those blows himself, and that's exactly why he has no idea what they're gonna do either. But if you were to ask Vegeta how confident he was feeling right then, he would have simply just grinned without saying anything. What's happening right now in this moment is a result of everything Vegeta's body has been through recently. Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct, this magical energy. He was on his way to developing a style of fighting that leaves even himself somewhat confused. Belmod was getting tired of the stalling, so he charges up a sphere of destruction and throws it at Vegeta. "There, have fun with that," he says. In response, Vegeta does nothing though. He just waits for the sphere to reach him, and yet it never does. Halfway through, it stops and takes a U-turn. Belmod is taken aback. He barely manages to deflect his own attack. Vegeta laughs. "So this is how it is, huh?" "What are you talking about?" Belmod asks. "It seems I've created an invisible prison for you. Every energy attack you use will be redirected right back at you. All thanks to this weird magic," Vegeta replies. Belmod thinks he's out of his mind, but sure enough, when he uses another sphere of destruction, the same thing happens. "Impressive, Vegeta. I guess I did underestimate you. The way you are right now, you may even be stronger than Goku, but you know what? If it was that easy to stop a god of destruction, this status quo would have never existed in the first place," Belmod declares. He then lunges with a powerful Hakai wave, fully intent on erasing Vegeta from the planet. Vegeta doesn't prepare for a counterattack though, as he was too curious to see how this was gonna turn out. Belmod is the same. He wants to know if an intentional Hakai wave on Vegeta would make its way back to him or not. So, what would happen? Well, the prison Vegeta created using an imperfect form of Mystorian arts was nothing permanent. When Belmod's Hakai wave touched it, the prison gets absolved. Neither of them see it getting released, but they can hear the sound of the glass shattering all around them, or what sounded like glass shattering. Vegeta closes his eyes now that this super powerful Hakai wave was making its way to him, and he needed some way to counter, somehow. Right before the wave would reach him, Vegeta's aura changes from Ultra Instinct to that of Ultra Ego. He immediately fires a Hakai of his own as they both collide in the middle of the sky. Vegeta doesn't stop there though. He also throws an orb of magical energy at the point where the Hakais collided. It was at this point that the clash would simply implode. There was a massive diversion as the Hakai goes off in all directions. Vegeta uses Spirit Fission to reabsorb whatever was coming his way, while Belmod has to cause them to disappear consciously. "This is tiring. I don't feel like continuing anymore," Belmod says. "What? If you stop and leave, this would mean I won the fight. Let's continue," Vegeta says. "Nah, you should be careful though, Vegeta. What if that Hakai earlier came into contact with planet Mystoria? I'll never hear the end of it from Jiren," Belmod says, and then tells Margarita that they're leaving now. Vegeta just stays silent. If the fight isn't gonna continue, he wasn't in the mood for some petty chit-chat either. He returns to his spot in the forest and just casually continues his meditation. Belmod and Margarita return to planet Belmod. Personally, I didn't expect the second fiddle to be this strong. Looks like Beerus and Whis are directly involved in the growth of these Saiyans. There is no other explanation, Margarita says. For real. I may have gotten rusty because as hard as I tried, I couldn't envision the end of my fight with him. It could have gone on forever, Belmod replies. What about Jiren though? Did you really stop just because you didn't want to mess up the planet, she asks. Oh, yes, that is true. He has gotten absurdly strong since the Tournament of Power. If I'm forced into a fight with him, I'll lose and effectively lose my position as the Destroyer, he states. Yeah, and then everyone would definitely call you a clown, she says, chuckling. Oh please, I'm at least among the top 5 strongest Destroyers, Belmod says. Back on planet Mystoria, Jiren and Goku had observed the fight from the night before and they were discussing it with each other when Vegeta shows up. Great work, Vegeta. You awakened your magical energy as well. Show me your Dragon Star fruit. Let's compare the size, Goku says. Vegeta recalls that although he did acquire the magical energy, the fruit never sprouted. You didn't heed my advice again, Vegeta. I thought I told you to surrender all you know about strength. You didn't. You're still too arrogant and prideful. The fruit will never appear this way, Jiren says. Whatever, Magic Man. I don't care about some stupid fruit. I did acquire it, didn't I? I can use magical energy just like how you can as well. I don't need any stupid fruit, Vegeta replies. Vegeta and Jiren would have an intense stare-off before Goku breaks the silence. Anyways, Vegeta, we saw your fight with Lord Belmod. Who do you think is stronger, Lord Beerus or Lord Belmod? Goku asks. Lord Beerus, and it's not even close, Vegeta replies within a second of even getting asked the question. He didn't have to think about it at all. Yes, I agree, Lord Belmod would lose against Destroyer Beerus, Jiren adds. What? And how would you know, Vegeta asks. By abandoning my very conception of strength, I'm now able to see it without any bias. This is the difference between you and Goku, Vegeta. This is the difference between me and you, Jiren declares. Vegeta notices Goku holding his fruit. Hey Kakarot, look, a flying cat, Vegeta says while pointing upwards. Where? Goku looks. And this gave Vegeta enough time to snatch the fruit and take a bite out of it. Yeah, Vegeta was just going balls to the walls at this point. Goku ends up turning back around, slightly disappointed, and when Jiren asks him what he feels about Vegeta taking a bite out of his fruit, he says that he doesn't mind. He actually tasted the fruit earlier himself and it was bitter. Vegeta begins observing his body, all of his limbs. There was no obvious change yet, at least. Jiren had had enough of Vegeta's nonsense, but when he recalls how Master Kubo essentially left Goku and Vegeta in his hands, he decides that he just has to be the adult here. Okay, Vegeta, what is it that you see? Is becoming the strongest your only goal? You think it ends there? Jiren asks. Incorrect. That question in itself proves that you do not understand the Saiyan race. It never ends. My goal is to not stop. That's it. Stopping and stagnating means death for a Saiyan. Don't overcomplicate it. I can tell that you yourself have never thought that deeply about it either, Vegeta replies. Yeah, I think we do need a proper fight after this Mystorian arts training ends, Jiren replies. You really piss me off. I'll defeat you and force you into learning some humility. Vegeta just laughs. I'm glad you're finally being honest. In his mind, Vegeta knows that Jiren is much, much stronger than Belmod. He also knows that the way he is right now, he will lose against Jiren. Perfect. That's exactly how Vegeta wanted things to be. Last time it was Goku who learned something as legendary as the Ultra Instinct to match Jiren. This time, it'll be him. Vegeta doesn't know what kind of transformation or technique he's heading towards, but it will happen, that's for sure. At the end of the current training arc, he'll be ascending to the next level, and what could be more exciting than that? Meanwhile, at Planet Beerus. Say, Lord Beerus, are you still interested in appointing Vegeta as your successor, Whis asks. Beerus thinks about it for a second and then replies, No way. Vegeta only dances to his own tune. He'll definitely cause trouble with the Grand Priest and Zeno. I don't trust him enough to leave the position to him. But you do think he's qualified, right? Whis asks. Beerus gradually opens his eyes and says, Well, absolutely. Back to planet Mystoria, 7 days have passed since Goku and Vegeta came to this planet. Master Kubo was making a special potion all this time, but now he's back and it's time for the Mystorian martial arts training to begin. Well done, Jiren. I see you helped them both awaken their magical energy. You might even be better at this job than I am, Kubo says. However, when he notices the instability of Vegeta's magical energy, he isn't too sure what to say. Young man, there's chaos in your mind and soul. Are you satisfied with this? Kubo asks. That is a Saiyan's way of life, Vegeta replies sincerely. Master Kubo gives him a thumbs up and then he asks all three of them as well as the young Mystorian to follow him. He takes them to a certain cave in the magical forest where there's a gate. And right before they all step into it, he says, Careful. Beyond this gate is a different world. Goku just gulped, but he was honestly excited and Vegeta was looking forward to it as well. Upon entering the cave, they're all met with a land of pure vibrations. It was just colors and wavelengths everywhere. Look long enough and you would probably start losing your vision or seizing up. Master, please let me be the first, Jiren asks. Of course, he claps. And just like that, all four of them are taken somewhere else again. This time, they were taken to a darker and grim reality. There were heinous looking creatures everywhere, and Vegeta and Goku wonder what any of this has to do with their training, but as for Jiren, he looks unusually composed. Finally, we meet again, you wretched villain who took everything from me, Jiren declares. Suddenly, a mist of darkness takes the shape of a humanoid being in front of them that replies, I don't even know who you are. Should I? You see, the only reason Jiren picked up Mastorian arts is because he knew that magical energy is the secret to entering the world of the villain who killed his master back when he was a kid. But at long last, now that he's finally mastered magical energy, and with Goku and Vegeta getting to spectate this, it was finally time for Jiren to get revenge on the monster that killed his master. Zamasu is the being that ruined Jiren's life? This is where the story of what if Vegeta learned Ultra Instinct has brought us. After learning Ultra Instinct, Vegeta has come all the way to Universe 11 together with Goku. Vegeta would have a long-awaited rematch against Jiren, and then later figured out how to use magical energy during his fight with Belmod. Master Kubo, who is the Mastorian sensei who's been training Jiren, has taken them all to the mystical realm where a shadow of a humanoid figure materializes in front of them. This is the villain who killed Jiren's parents and his master. You see, the real reason Jiren was here on planet Mastoria was to learn the magical Mastorian arts to be able to get into this dimensional gateway, because the villain we're talking about doesn't really exist in the known multiverse anymore. He only further exists at the gateway to this mystical realm. When the villain's image completely materializes in front of them, Goku and Vegeta finally realize who they're looking at, and it's Zamasu. But at the same time, it isn't Zamasu. Wait, Jiren, don't kill him just yet. I need answers, Vegeta says. He knows that Jiren's magical energy is powerful enough to kill Zamasu in one blow. He was stronger than Belmod after all at this point. Intervene and I'll have no mercy on you either, Vegeta, Jiren replies. He wasn't in the mood for any interrogation sessions. He was here to permanently erase this villain's existence from every corner of the multiverse. Vegeta knows that it's far too important for them to figure out the villain's true identity and why his silhouette resembles that of Zamasu, so he tries to physically stop Jiren, but Master Kubo just tells him to calm down. Relax, son. Just let Jiren have his moment. I'll answer your questions later, he says. Both Goku and Vegeta are fully aware of how competent and capable Master Kubo is, so they choose to just stay quiet and stay put for the time being. Meanwhile, Jiren punches the villain, but his punches pass right through him. No. No, Jiren screams. It's not the same villain, Master Kubo. He feels the same, but this is not the person who killed my parents nor my master. Hearing this, Master Kubo sighs and then states, Alright, Jiren, now listen closely. He is indeed the villain who killed your parents and master, but this version of him hasn't done that yet. What do you mean? Are we in the past? What if I just killed him now? What would happen to my parents and master, Jiren asks. Calm down. No, we're not in the past, Kubo replies. We're actually at the villain's very origin. The moment he materialized in front of you, he was actually being born into existence. Goku and Vegeta were obviously having a pretty hard time following all of this and understanding what's going on, but Jiren was as well. He just wasn't in the mood to calm down either. After confirming that this is indeed the villain who will go on to kill the people most important to him, Jiren unleashes his magical aura. This sends a sudden ripple across the dimension. Everything quakes and they all start seeing visions of both the past and the future. In one of those visions, Goku and Vegeta notice Jiren's parents being killed. One look and there was no doubt in their mind that the individual who killed Jiren's parents looked exactly like Fuse Zamasu, but it's more like he was a doppelganger and not the real one. Just what was going on here? None of this made sense. In a separate vision, Jiren spectates himself having a battle to the death pretty much with Vegeta. He wasn't so sure about it though. He doesn't like Vegeta, but he also doesn't hate him enough that he would go as far as trying to kill him for no reason. Just to kind of reiterate Jiren's character here for a second, he is a hero of justice through and through. He doesn't really go about killing people, so just the idea that he would be in a fight to the death with Vegeta is kinda odd to him. Anyways, when the dimensional quakes finally do calm down, Jiren prepares an orb of magical energy that almost resembles a Hakai. He had prepared it for the sole purpose of erasing any trace of this villain's magical energy. Much to everyone's surprise, the villain doesn't even try to counter or anything. He just lets himself get erased. Jiren, wait. Behind you, Master Kubo warns him. It's the villain, but this one looks like Goku. It was Goku Black's silhouette. Jiren turns around to erase him as well, but he was one step behind Vegeta. Vegeta uses his newfound understanding of Mastorian magical arts to redirect Goku Black's magical energy towards him. He then used Force Spirit Fission to absorb all of Goku Black's power and magical energy. Jiren, Goku, and even Master Kubo are left completely speechless, while Vegeta just laughs hysterically as he feels the energy within him reach unimaginable levels. After Ultra Ego, then Ultra Instinct, and the Mystorian Arts, one more thing has been added to Vegeta's portfolio, but what's more important is what's going on with this villain, and why does he look like Zamasu and Goku Black? We'll have to wait until Master Kubo explains everything. Jiren is just glaring down at Vegeta when Master Kubo finally takes them out of this realm and back to planet Mystoria. Jiren seems surprisingly calm on the surface, but inside he was fighting all kinds of demons. Is Vegeta his enemy? Why did Vegeta absorb him, and why did the villain look like Goku towards the end there? He has all these questions, but he was trying to tackle them all in his head instead of asking them outright. Vegeta and Goku, on the other hand, had to pester Master Kubo to finally spill the beans, but he waits until later that night to start talking about it. Master Kubo would go on to explain everything he could possibly know about it. He explains that whenever an anomaly is born in the known universe, its shadow emerges in the mystical realm. He then goes on to explain what he learned about Zamasu, how he was originally killed by Beerus, but in an alternate timeline, he used the Super Dragon Balls to wish for something not so pleasant. And now that he had seen Zamasu in the image of Goku, he presumes that he must have used the Super Dragon Balls to get a Saiyan's body, which means he is aware that Goku and Vegeta know something about this. Vegeta takes the lead and explains how they fought Zamasu in the future, how he had wished for immortality and everything. This makes sense to Master Kubo, but he then reveals something interesting. He states that the Zamasu who killed Jiren's parents isn't actually the same Zamasu whom they fought. It was his shadow, and the reason Jiren can't kill that shadow is because it also got erased by Zeno. Goku then asks about the Zamasu Jiren erased and the Goku Black that Vegeta absorbed. Master Kubo could only speculate, but what he says pretty much hits the nail on the head. He deduces that when Zamasu and Goku Black fused with each other, another shadow got created. It was that one who killed Jiren's parents, and that's why the shadows of Goku Black and Zamasu still existed. Goku was still confused, but he was honestly too hungry to understand anyway, so he just gets up and starts searching for some food together with the young Mystorian. As for Jiren, he just keeps glaring at Vegeta. What do you want? If you want to fight, that's fine with me, Vegeta says. I can sense it, Vegeta. I can sense that villain's presence oozing off of you, Jiren replies. No, Jiren, that's incorrect. When Vegeta used his technique on the shadow, he made the shadow completely his own. The villain's conscience ceased to exist at that very moment, Master Kubo replies. He knows that Jiren is just being really paranoid right now. Jiren just stays quiet while Vegeta actually asks a very interesting question. Wait, Master Kubo, I understand the villain's existence, but why did he kill Jiren's parents and master in the first place? And didn't this whole Zamasu thing happen just recently? So how the hell did he kill them in the first place? Did he go back in time or something, Vegeta asks? Kubo closes his eyes. To be honest, I have no idea either. It just doesn't make sense no matter how you look at it. And additionally, I don't even understand how the villain managed to come from this realm in the first place. Well, if even you don't know, how are we going to find out the truth, Vegeta asks? I'm afraid the answer lies in Jiren's origins. We need to find out more about his parents and lineage, Master Kubo replies. This is when something suddenly strikes Vegeta. Yeah, there must be something special about Jiren's lineage as well. How else do you explain a mere mortal catching up and then even surpassing the destroyer of his own universe? Everyone looks at Jiren. What? I'm the only member of my race still alive and I don't know anything, he says. How about a trip to see Master Zuno? He knows everything, Vegeta says. Yeah, but that'll take a while. Plus, I'm not really on good terms with any of the destroyers, so Jiren will have to go on his own, Master Kubo says. When Goku returns, he has a dead dinosaur slung over his shoulder. When Master Kubo asks what happens to the young Mystorian, Goku says he isn't really too sure, he lost track of him a while ago. The young Mystorian eventually catches back up to them, apologizing profusely and explaining that Goku kinda just wandered off while he was preoccupied catching a deer. Vegeta suddenly turns to Goku and challenges him to a one-on-one sparring session, which of course Goku obliges, so they both fly into the sky. Vegeta wasn't being reckless or anything though, he just knows that if Goku is really cursed from eating a mystical prehistoric beast on this planet, the best way to find out would be by engaging with him in a battle, so the both of them go Super Saiyan. And that's where they stop. They don't go Super Saiyan God or Blue, they don't use Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego either, just pure Super Saiyan. The fight begins and it's surprisingly laid back at first, almost as if neither of them are trying to prove anything. Almost as if Vegeta is no longer trying to prove that he's stronger than Goku. Jiren observes and notices the stark contrast between this fight and the fight that he was going to have with Vegeta in the future. He wouldn't admit it, but he was worried. He was worried about whatever was going to happen between him and Vegeta in the future. As for the fight between Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta's final flash is redirected back at him thanks to Goku's usage of the Mastorian arts. He tries absorbing it back, but Vegeta can tell something is odd. The energy doesn't get reabsorbed by him. Instead, the full brunt of the force hits Vegeta. Meanwhile, Goku experiences a sudden headache that causes him to revert back to his base state. Jiren just looks at Master Kubo. I know, you think the villain is still inside Vegeta and that's why Vegeta wasn't able to absorb his energy the same way he used to, but I still can't sense another magical presence inside of Vegeta, Master Kubo says. He then walks up to Goku and gives him a little bit of the potion he had made. It helps relieve the headache, but Goku notices how he can no longer transform into a Super Saiyan or a Super Saiyan God. The only reasonable explanation is whatever happened to him when he wandered off while Vegeta and Jiren were fighting, or I don't know, maybe it has something to do with Goku completely ignoring Master Kubo's warning on the magical and cursed energy that mythical creatures on this planet have, and Goku going out and eating one anyway. Unfortunately, Jiren will never be able to kill the villain who killed his family and master. In the previous chapter of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct, we saw how the villain in question is actually Fuse Zamasu's shadow doppelganger who no longer exists. Now, I know I said a lot there. Fuse Zamasu, shadow, doppelganger, what's going on here? Well, you guys obviously need to check out the previous parts to understand everything. The link will be at the top of the screen and in the comments. But to recap a few things, Jiren does end up facing off against Zamasu's shadow. He erases him, but gets attacked by Goku Black Shadow. During this battle against what seemed to be just phantoms, Vegeta does the unexpected by absorbing Goku Black's magical energy by reversing Force Spirit Fission. Goku, on the other hand, while all of this is taking place, hunts down and kills a mythical creature on planet Mastoria, which automatically earns him a curse because harming the mythical creatures on planet Mastoria is taboo. But what does this curse actually do to Goku? Well, for starters, it makes him unable to turn into a Super Saiyan. He also can't go Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue either. He can use Ultra Instinct, but only the true Ultra Instinct variant that he came up with towards the end of their fight with Gas, and that is where the previous part ended. Honestly, I can smell that you guys haven't obliterated that like button yet. I really think you guys should. It's free, and the like goal for this video is only 1,000, but as far as from where we go from here on out, well, let's hop right in. Vegeta, who had gotten hit by his own final flash, comes down and asks Goku to take both him and Jiren to planet Beerus. They need to meet Master Zuno and get some answers, and they're gonna need Whis' help to do that. In the meantime, Master Kubo assures them that he'll find a way to cure Goku's curse, but only under one condition. He, for some reason, wants to meet a Namekian from Universe 7. Goku gives him a big thumbs up because he has just the person in mind. Vegeta puts his hand on Goku's right shoulder with Jiren on the left, and with that, they teleport to planet Beerus. Oh, I see you guys brought home a friend, Beerus says. Vegeta takes a brief moment to explain everything that happened during their stay in Universe 11. At the mention of Zamasu, however, Beerus almost has a heart attack. There is no way they can let Zeno find out that this guy is still around, even as a Spectre. He'd erase the whole multiverse. Jiren then interrupts their conversation and says, Lord Beerus, by any chance, do you know anything about my race? Beerus says that he has no idea, but he then immediately recalls something Belmont told him about a warrior in his universe. He makes the connection and realizes that he must have been talking about Jiren, but he can't recall exactly what Belmont said, so Beerus decides to just keep it quiet for now. Whis just happened to be out running an errand at this time, but as soon as he arrives, they fill him in on what's going on. Next, it was time to go to planet Zuno, but Goku had an upset stomach from that potion Master Kubo gave him, so he excuses himself, instant transmissions to his toilet back home, drops the Deuceroni, and then he's out of there before anybody noticed like Tom Clancy. Anyways, Goku goes straight to the lookout afterwards, gets Piccolo, and tells him everything. He then asks Piccolo to come and train with him in the hyperbolic time chamber until Vegeta and Jiren are done with Master Zuno. Piccolo wasn't as excited as Goku, but he would oblige. It seems Goku was planning on testing something out now that he can no longer use his Super Saiyan state. Going back to Vegeta and the others though, Whis would take them to Master Zuno. Beerus would decide to just stay comfortable again though. I mean, he really didn't care, and as long as Zeno didn't find out about Zamasu's shadow doppelganger specter thing, then they can handle it. Once they're on Zuno's planet, you would think that he would ask them for something in return, but this is Zuno. He already knows that Vegeta is Bulma's husband, and he absolutely does not want Vegeta figuring out that Bulma kissed him. So he gets straight to the point and reveals that although there was nothing special about Jiren's race per se, they've always been the only individuals in Universe 11 who have never had a doppelganger counterpart being born of them in the mystical realm. And that is one thing you can attest to Jiren's race. Since ancient times, they have always only focused on raw, unfiltered strength. And evolution after evolution, their bodies attained this simplistic design that best allowed them to practice their raw power. Yeah, there's never been a Gray as strong as Jiren, but there were plenty of strong individuals in the past who belonged to this race. So, back to that important question. Why did the villain kill all of them? Well, Master Zuno would explain that even though he was just a shadow doppelganger counterpart, Zamasu still had some crazy ideologies. He was uncomfortable with the idea that there was a race of beings who still hadn't produced a doppelganger counterpart in the mystical realm. So this would mean that the attack on Jiren's planet was actually carefully planned out by Zamasu. Jiren wasn't left alive by accident. He was left alive because that was the villain's plan this whole time. By killing all of the other Greys of his race, Zamasu's intention was to force the last remaining Grey to evolve. Later, when Jiren met Master Gishin and started training, he realized that Jiren would go down a dark path at this rate, so he spent his better days trying to put him on the right path, but unfortunately, he would also perish. Since then, Jiren has patiently waited for the moment he comes face to face with the villain once again. But then again, when Zeno zapped everything in the future, he also erased Zamasu from the mystical realm in the future as well. This is when Vegeta would finally interrupt though to ask a really important question. So with everything you've just explained, at this point, is there a doppelganger of Jiren, he asks? And so Zuno replies, not yet. But considering how he's learning the Mystorian arts and how he defeated Zamasu using his magical energy, it's only a matter of time, but it probably won't happen until he gains a transformation. Vegeta would look over at Jiren, who quickly replies with a firm no. In his mind, Jiren can't believe it. His people, his family, his master, they were all killed just because Zamasu is some kind of perfectionist? It just sounded too insane. So now there was no way he was going to transform just purely out of spite at this point. Jiren is usually a calm and collected individual, but everyone has their mental limit. You'd think he'd kind of be over it considering how much time has passed, but after meeting Zamasu and then seeing Vegeta absorb Goku Black, all of that negativity has just pulled up once again, along with a plethora of impossible questions about this whole thing. Well, next, Jiren had a very important question. He asked Zuno if Goku Black's magical conscience is still alive within Vegeta after absorbing it. Zuno, for some reason, was thinking long and hard about this question. His attendants don't even remember the last time he had to think so hard before answering something, but it takes no less than 5 minutes before he starts talking again. He explains that, yes, it's still alive within Vegeta, but that isn't all. The second magical conscience that now exists within Vegeta is not just Goku Black, it's also Zamasu. Jiren thought he had erased Zamasu's doppelganger, but right when Vegeta used Force Spirit Fission on Goku Black, he was also able to suck in the remnants of Zamasu's magical energy. The two of them merged within Vegeta, and so, Fused Zamasu's mystical clone was born once again. Now, of course, Jiren knows that this isn't the same Zamasu who killed his people, but he just couldn't help himself. He can't help but feel this raging anger towards Vegeta for just straight up ignoring what he was saying and absorbing Goku Black's magical energy. But before we get further into that, Whis would ask Zeno about Goku's curse. Zuno replies that there's nothing to worry about. It won't affect his health, but Goku isn't turning into a Super Saiyan for at least a year, even if Master Kubo is able to make a good potion for him. The three of them bid farewell to Zuno and then returned to planet Beerus. It took them a little over 2 hours for the entire trip, but for Goku and Piccolo who were in the hyperbolic time chamber, this was an entire month's time. Since Goku isn't there at planet Beerus, the three of them come to the lookout. Goku and Piccolo exit the room, but a few moments later, Piccolo was brimming with magical energy somehow, while Goku was in his true Ultra Instinct state. When Vegeta asked him about it, Goku states that he was gonna maintain this state until his curse is cured. Vegeta honestly didn't know what to say. He thought he may have already gotten a little bit ahead, but it looks like Goku is just getting started himself. Whis would then take Goku, Vegeta, Jiren, and now Piccolo back to planet Mystoria in Universe 11. They were all pretty surprised by how pleased Master Kubo was to see Piccolo. The young Mystorian's face also lights up, and while Piccolo can't quite put it into words, he can feel a strange sense of almost brotherhood here. Whis chuckles a little bit and then excuses himself. So what exactly is going on here, you might ask? Well, as it turns out, if you couldn't already guess, both the Mystorians and the Namekians have a common ancestor, and they both came to their respective universes from the mystical realm a long time ago. While Namekians can create wish-granting dragons, the Mystorians have absolute control over magical energy. Master Kubo takes Piccolo to their village and everyone treats him like an international celebrity damn near. Piccolo really is not used to this much attention, so he kinda just shuts down. Meanwhile, Vegeta, Goku, and Jiren are still just standing idly by, not sure what they're supposed to do since Master Kubo is so preoccupied with Piccolo now. Alright Kakarot, enough time has passed. What kind of training did you do in the time chamber? And why did you decide to just use true Ultra Instinct all the time, Vegeta asks. Isn't it obvious? I want to grow stronger too, and because I can't use my other forms, this is the best time to polish my own Ultra Instinct. You may have mastered Ultra Instinct as well, Vegeta, but you haven't completely actualized it, Goku replies. Vegeta knew he was telling the truth, but he also knew that to reach that next level, he would need an opponent to push him to the brink of death with absolutely no regard for his own life. Lucky for him, the perfect opponent was actually standing right next to him. Yeah. Without saying so much as a word, Vegeta turns around and angrily punches Jiren in the face. Vegeta would then harness that same magical energy he had absorbed from the Shadow of Black to manifest a massive aura around him that honestly takes on a disgustingly similar shape to the villain that killed Jiren's parent. Vegeta was purposely messing with Jiren, trolling him in fact. He was trying to get in his head. Jiren knew this, but he had also had enough of Vegeta's nonsense. I mean, he never liked him in the first place, and so now it's about time that they settle this. Vegeta and Jiren plunge towards each other, ready to land that first blow, when Goku appears in between them. Goku would place a hand on both of their fists, and before they know it, all three of them are teleported somewhere else. Goku takes them to a faraway planet where there are no signs of life whatsoever. Here, they don't have to worry about accidentally destroying planet Mystoria like last time, and all the mythical creatures are safe as well, so they can go all out. Jiren and Vegeta both look towards each other, and then they look at Goku. Both of them say the same exact thing at the same exact time to him. Stay out of the fight. Goku backs off and gives them a thumbs up. Any last words, Vegeta? Jiren says. Whoa there, Gray Man, I didn't know this was a fight to the death. Why so serious? Vegeta asks. He was honestly trying to just piss off Jiren more and more, and it looks like it's working. Goku was honestly enjoying this as well, and even back at planet Beerus, Whis, Beerus, and the Oracle Fish appear to all be enjoying the show also. The thing about Vegeta right now though is that he's in command of some absolutely ridiculous powers. Jiren on the other hand is just Jiren. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we know that he doesn't really need a power up because he's just gonna raw strength his way through this fight like always. At most, maybe he'll use some Mystorian arts here and there. The fight begins and Jiren dashes straight towards Vegeta to land the first punch. Vegeta was ready to try and redirect its impact right back at Jiren, but Jiren somehow surpasses Vegeta's conception of speed and lands the punch right in the gut before he can even react to it. Vegeta spits blood and falls to his knees. He thought he had honestly powered up somehow by consuming the shadows of both Black and Zamasu, but no. All he had really done was lose the stability he had gained from decades of fighting experience. Right now, at this very moment, Vegeta's body is under such chaotic energy that it's amazing that he's still standing on his own 2 feet. But one thing is for sure, all of the answers that he's been seeking will be given to him in this fight. Since ancient times, they've always only focused on raw, unfiltered strength. That's the simple truth about Jiren's race. Zamasu killed his parents, his people, his master to force his evolution, but regardless of the despair, Never, not once did Jiren lose his way, but right now, he's at a crossroads. As Zuno said, if Jiren transforms, he will simultaneously evolve, so what is Jiren gonna do? He can transform, he knows he can, but when Vegeta asks him to, he would reply no. So just why are Jiren and Vegeta working together right now? Well, if you haven't already, guys, be sure to go check out the previous chapter of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct as well. That'll be linked up at the top of the screen and pinned down below in the comments. But without further ado, I've had you guys waiting long enough for chapter 8, so let's hop right in. The fact is that Zamasu's shadow is still alive within Vegeta, and they're gonna fight. Vegeta with Ultra Ego, mastered Ultra Instinct, mastery over Mastorian magical arts, and now the shadow energy of feud Zamasu is all up against Jiren. Unlike him though, Jiren is only planning on using his raw strength and martial arts prowess. The fight begins and Vegeta is immediately down on his knees somehow. It's not that Jiren's punch was too strong or he couldn't handle Jiren's speed, it's just that his own body is working against him right now. In exchange for power, Vegeta may have lost something essential. Jiren is the pinnacle of pure, raw, unadulterated power. His core is stable and he's set himself free of any and all distractions. While Vegeta is the exact opposite. By embracing all forms of strength, he's become the embodiment of chaos. Pretty much the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Jiren versus Vegeta. Who's gonna win? Jiren is fully intent on killing Vegeta right now. He doesn't even allow any room for him to breathe before landing a second punch. And then a third one, and then a fourth one. He then starts following up his punches with kicks, but Vegeta grins and starts glowing. He was glowing purple. It happened almost instinctively. Jiren's blows were too strong for his body to bear, and so his body instinctively switched to Ultra Ego right as he was experiencing the full brunt of those attacks. Now, as Vegeta begins glowing again, he switches to Ultra Instinct, but it doesn't end here. Jiren rages forward and attempts to match Vegeta's movements, but he somehow manages to get a hang of the Ultra Instinct and attacks with a destructive punch. However, Vegeta allows the punch to come into contact with his body. Suddenly, everything starts moving in slow motion almost. The moment Jiren's punch touches Vegeta's chest, he uses Mastorian arts to reverse the force and counters Jiren with his own punch, and it was fatal. Plus, Jiren had no way of dodging it. Impressive. It's like I'm fighting 3 people at once, Jiren says. 3 people? Come on, it's just me here, Vegeta replies. Are you sure? A voice speaks inside Vegeta's conscience. Vegeta was overpowering Jiren, but the moment this voice came out, he experiences an overwhelming headache. Ultra Instinct is undone and he goes back to his base form. What just happened? Vegeta says while trying to get a hold of himself. But within the next 5 seconds, Jiren has already landed about 20-30 more punches on him. It was brutal. Vegeta can't afford to shut down here though. His eyes were bleeding and he could barely get back to his feet. Say, Jiren, you do want to kill me, right? He asks. Yeah, don't even try to sweet talk your way out of this, he replies. I don't care, Vegeta, but I know for a fact that killing you will make me feel better, Jiren declares. He was dead ass. Then why the hell have you been holding back? Come on, throw each of those punches with intent to kill. It's a little too late to be soft, don't you think? Vegeta laughs. He was in horrible shape, but the last thing he wants is Jiren going easy on him. I'm holding back, Jiren replies. He was infuriated. He enters a fury of rage and punches Vegeta with twice as much intensity as before. These attacks were so vicious that Vegeta was literally fainting and being brought back to his senses with each and every strike. Come on, Vegeta. Say that again. Who's holding back now? Jiren asks. Vegeta enters Ultra Instinct and dodges Jiren's third punch, saying, You've been holding back, Jiren, and you're still holding back. Take this seriously or I'm going home, Vegeta replies. But was this a bluff? Is Vegeta just playing mind games? Well, let's have Goku answer that for us. Shortly after Goku took Jiren and Vegeta to an empty faraway planet, the young Mastorian also teleported there as he didn't want to miss this fight either. He was curious about all of the same things we were, and Goku as well. What is he doing? He'll actually die if he continues to provoke Jiren, he says. Vegeta is right. Maybe it's subconscious, but Jiren has definitely been holding back and Vegeta doesn't want that. It's not about the power behind Jiren's punches, it's the idea that he doesn't have the intention to kill, Goku replies. Yeah, but Jiren has never killed anyone. He doesn't know how to fight with the intention to kill, the young Mastorian says. That's also true, but if Jiren was actually fighting the villain, would he have still held back? That's the question Vegeta's searching for. But then again, it's not like I'll ever be able to fight Vegeta with the intention to kill, so I completely understand Jiren myself. It's Vegeta who's being unfair to him, Goku explains. Well, maybe he's trying to help Jiren. He is barely fighting back after all, the young historian adds. That's actually a really good point. Let's just wait and see, Goku replies. Meanwhile, Vegeta's eyes begin to lose some of their light and a subtle darkness starts looming over him. He also goes eerily silent and simply continues to take the full brunt of Jiren's attacks. Soon, Vegeta's eyes go dark and he simply stands there in front of Jiren. Jiren could have very easily killed Vegeta with this next punch. He wasn't in good shape at all, but he stops himself. No, don't stop, Jiren. Do it. Punch him, Goku yells. Jiren ignores him and reverts back to normal. It was never me who was holding back, Vegeta. It was you. You were using me as a means to an end. How pathetic of me to fall for it, Jiren says as he looks at the sky and continues. My apologies, Master Gishin. I was gonna lose my way. It appears I still have much to learn. Having said this, Jiren walks away while Vegeta is still standing there almost like a statue. But suddenly, he hears laughter. It was Vegeta. Or maybe it's not Vegeta. It's not Zamasu either though. So who is it? Out of the way, Jiren, Goku says while preparing an Ultra Instinct Kamehameha. He didn't waste any time in firing that thing on Vegeta either. Obviously, Jiren and the young Mystorian are taken aback. I mean, what is happening right here? What is it that they don't understand about this battle? When the dust settles, Vegeta is seen lying on the ground. All the darkness that was looming over and around him has dissipated. It's just him lying on the ground. Is he dead? Jiren asks. Hey, don't write me off just yet, Vegeta replies as he struggles to get up. Goku would lend him a hand. Oh, hey, easy there, Vegeta. That was pretty reckless. Yeah, would have been more poetic if Jiren was the one who landed the final blow though, Vegeta laughs. Jiren was stone-faced and emotionless though as he asks, what is it? Tell me, what was that darkness? I had 2 lives for some reason and was looking forward to getting rid of one. That's all there is to it, Vegeta replies, and before anyone else can reply, Whis appears. Allow me to heal you, Vegeta, he says, and this is when Vegeta would ask him, so what do you think, Whis? Well, if you really want my thoughts on the fight, it was clever, but that's all there is to it. The shadow is still inside of you. It's a good thing you didn't die from that Kamehameha, because if you did, there's no telling where you, or that shadow for that matter, would have ended up. And if I hadn't come when I did, your life force would have completely depleted in only a few more moments, Vegeta. It was really risky. I know because I saw 3 minutes into the future, Whis explains. So it didn't work, huh? Vegeta says, smiling through the pain before eventually collapsing to the ground. Goku would then pick him up, clarifying that he's alright, he's just tired. Tell me, Whis, what was Vegeta plotting? Jiren says as he turns to the angel. Whis would turn to Jiren and smirk. Well, if you must know, the clever mind of Vegeta wants to give you a shot at killing the villain. No doubt few Zamasu's shadows still exist. Vegeta intentionally allowed you to maul him as much as you could so that the shadow had no choice but to come out of hiding. But just when Vegeta wanted you to land the finishing blow, you stopped. Luckily, Goku has stepped in at this point and used his Kamehameha to avoid a complete takeover, Whis explains. Yeah, I made sure not to kill him, Goku adds. That's right, and if either you or Jiren had actually landed that finishing blow, there would have been no telling what would have happened. Vegeta's soul may have gotten trapped in the space between the known universe and the mystical realm. Not even I could have revived him at that point, Whis states. Hey, thanks Jiren, for not killing Vegeta, Goku says. Yeah, well, once I came back to my senses, I had no intention of fighting someone who also had no intention of fighting, but what'll happen to Vegeta now, Jiren asks. I'm sure he'll figure something out. The only reason he manipulated you was because he wanted to let you have your shot at defeating Zamasu. That's all there was to it, Whis adds. He then excuses himself while Goku, Vegeta, Jiren, and the young Mystorian return to planet Mystoria. The young Mystorian tells Goku that they should just drop Vegeta off in his home so that he can get some proper rest, and then the 3 of them join Piccolo and Master Kubo in the village. And for some reason, Piccolo is a major hit on planet Mystoria. Everybody loves him. But if you go back in the history of the universe far enough, Namekians can be considered the cousins of Mastorians. So what are you gonna do next, Jiren? You seem to have calmed down after that last fight, Goku asks. I guess there is no longer any need. Vegeta will subdue the shadow and grow stronger on his own. Maybe it's about time I go back to making this universe a better place, Jiren states. Oh, okay, that sounds like fun, but hey, how about fighting me again? Come on, Jiren, don't tell me you're satisfied with how your last fight ended. Let's throw some hands, Goku says while showing off his own manipulation skills. Here we go. Whatever, Jiren replies. No, Jiren, I think it's a good idea. Goku can't use his Saiyan prowess right now because of the curse. He'll have to rely on Ultra Instinct and the Mastorian arts. The way I see it, he's the perfect opponent for you to train against, Kubo says as he gives Jiren a thumbs up. Fine, but not today. I have some thinking to do, so let's do this in about a week, Jiren says as he then flies off into the stratosphere. Where's he off to, the young Mastorian asks. Just making the universe a better place, or so he says, Goku replies. Well, what about you? Is your universe fine considering how you and Vegeta have kind of been here for a while, he asks? Yeah, don't even worry about it. Whatever happens, my sons will handle it, and there's also Vegeta's son. And there's also Oob and Broly and our android friends and Master Roshi and a bunch of other strong people, Goku grins. Ah, okay, I didn't know you guys had friends as strong as you. I'd love to meet them all one day, the young Mastorian states. Sure, come to Universe 7 whenever you want, but, for now, how about we get some food, Goku says. Subsequently, Vegeta is still in his deep slumber, but he finds his consciousness stranded in the middle of nowhere. Who are you? Vegeta calls out. And here I thought Goku had the perfect body this whole time, the voice replies. But wouldn't you know, this body is a little bit more my style, he says, as we then look out into the distance to see Vegeta not locking eyes with Zamasu, or the shadow of Zamasu. Who Vegeta is now encountering seems like an alternate version of himself, but something is off here. Vegeta has never worn this godlike gi before, and why does this other Vegeta's energy feel so weird but familiar at the same time? Did Vegeta ultimately make the wrong choice here? Following a deathmatch with Jiren where he was fully prepared to die and be reborn, Vegeta is healed by Whis, but his conscience is exhausted. He falls down on the ground and is then dropped off at the young Mastorian's home. Meanwhile, Jiren, who was fully intent on killing Vegeta, stopped at the last moment. Now, just like always, Jiren has just kept himself from taking a life. This is a lot to take in on how Vegeta and Jiren of all people got here, so make sure to go check out the rest of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct. Playlist and previous video will be linked down below, but for now, we continue our story right as Vegeta opens his eyes in a void-like domain. The same voice that had been calling out to him finally reveals itself. It was the assimilated dark presence of Vegeta? No, there was something dangerously mystical about this. Vegeta would grimace through the cerebral pain, cursing this dark presence that's joined him. Well, what did you honestly think would happen? You basically gave me refuge inside your body. Not very wise, Mr. Prince of All Saiyans, the voice whom will remain calling Vegeta Black replies. Yeah, I know, but now what? As far as I recall, I still have full control of my body. You are nothing more than mere noise, Vegeta says. True, but what do you think would happen when you're asleep like right now, Vegeta Black says. Wait, what's going on? Tell me, Vegeta asks. It's then revealed that after Vegeta was dropped off at the young Mastorian's house, it took roughly an hour or so before Zamasu's shadow fully assimilated to Vegeta's body, and when it did, the shadow also took on Vegeta's appearance, hence the birth of the being we now know as Vegeta Black. Currently pretty much just chilling inside Vegeta waiting for something to happen, but fortunately nothing has yet. Vegeta Black, or Shadow Vegeta, whatever you want to call him, isn't even strong enough to make Vegeta's body move on its own, so thankfully he's still tame. He may be able to feel the air and the energy of Planet Mastoria around him thanks to snatching the front row seat in Vegeta's body, but what's really the point if he can't move? Eventually Vegeta will just wake back up and continue on as usual. It's kinda like the Itadori and Sukuna situation. For the Shadow, who is now Vegeta Black, it's just not possible to forcibly take control of Vegeta's body. When Vegeta realizes this, he asks a simple question. Okay, so what's your point when you can't even do anything? Oh, that may be true, Vegeta, I can't, but are you so sure you want to continue living with me inside of you? Just try using Ultra Instinct again and see if it works when you have two active consciences. You thought you could consume me, control me, and get stronger, but you ended up just hurting yourself, Vegeta, Black states. Whatever, I'll figure something out, but honestly, I don't mind letting you take control of my body, Vegeta says. He was actually serious for some reason. What? Just what are you planning? Vegeta Black asks. He didn't expect that, as I'm sure none of us did either. It's simple. I'm gonna give you my body and all you have to do is fight Jiren. Yeah, I think that'll do nicely. You'll fight Jiren and you'll also mention to him that you are the villain he's been searching for, Vegeta states. Okay, that sounds simple enough. But don't cry when you can no longer take your body back and I kill your friend Jiren, Vegeta Black states. This honestly just makes Vegeta chuckle. He fills the entire void with a destructive, almost heinous laughter. You poor creature. You just simply don't understand how strong Jiren, or I am for that matter. Besides, it's not like you used the Super Dragon Ball, so don't go getting any stupid ideas. If you underestimate me, or Jiren, or even Kakarot for that matter, it'll be your downfall, Vegeta declares. Yeah, whatever. Can it and just let me take over, Vegeta Black replies. Vegeta would grin and then hand over control of his body to the Shadow. Now that Vegeta Black has finally taken over Vegeta's body, his first order of business is finding Jiren. But before he can track him down, he notices Goku in a nearby house and walks in. Alright Saiyan, tell me, where is Jiren, he asks. Goku suddenly appears right in his face, punches him in the gut and sends him flying out of the house while he suspiciously asks, who are you? Wait, that wasn't Vegeta? Why'd you do that to him, the young Mystorian asks. Because that wasn't Vegeta. We've had to deal with our fair share of doppelgangers in the past, so at this point, I know one when I see one, Goku replies. Vegeta Black gets up and transforms into a Super Saiyan. Black? It's that same aura, Goku asks. I never knew Saiyans were this smart. Do you remember me from somewhere? Vegeta Black asks. Now, the Shadow Vegeta Black didn't know anything about the events of the Zamasu saga, but now that he was in control of Vegeta's body, he was getting flooded by Vegeta's memories. For a brief moment, being flooded with so much trauma, pain, and violence makes Vegeta Black feels like he's gone insane, but he's able to calm himself down. What was that? Were you having an episode? Where's Vegeta? Goku asks. Your name is Kakarot and you're strong. I see. I see it all, but not gonna lie, I don't think I have time for you. Please hurry up and tell me where Jiren went, Vegeta Black asks. No, I don't think I will, Goku replies. Why so stubborn? It was actually Vegeta who told me to fight Jiren in the first place, Black states. Well, even if that's true, I'm not letting you go anywhere. Vegeta can't just decide these things for Jiren, that's not cool, Goku says while entering true Ultra Instinct. And just to refresh you guys on some things that happened earlier in the story, Goku can't use Super Saiyan, God, or even Super Saiyan Blue right now for at least a year. This is actually because of the Mystorian curse that he accidentally inflicted on himself by killing and consuming a mythical creature on planet Mystoria. Vegeta Black can only watch as he gets himself severely and brutally beaten by Goku. He can't do anything against Ultra Instinct, he just doesn't have a good enough grasp over Vegeta's body to begin with. But what would happen if Vegeta Black were to receive a Zenkai boost or something? Say Goku just pounded him out too crazy, pause, but he didn't kill him. The thing is, Goku already knows that that's possible. He doesn't mind it if Vegeta Black receives a Zenkai boost because as much as he sympathizes with Jiren for not wanting to kill Vegeta purely for the sake of revenge, he also wants a good challenge. And honestly, at this point in Dragon Ball Super, besides Black Frieza, what better opponent for anyone than an evil Vegeta? Meanwhile, inside their shared conscience, Vegeta is finding this all too amusing. Hey, this isn't funny. I'll have to defeat him before I can move on to Jiren, so don't cry if I end up killing this Saiyan named Kakarot, Vegeta Black says. Whatever. Do what you want. If he's weak enough to die from an imposter, then so be it, Vegeta says. You Saiyans make no sense. This is why your species have remained the same barbaric individuals for so long, Vegeta Black replies. You are lost, my friend. Very, very lost, Vegeta tells Black. He is not taking this situation seriously at all. Subsequently, outside, Goku is beating the living daylights out of Vegeta Black. He can't even get up anymore. And it's at this point that the Shadow finally realizes what's going on. Vegeta's been playing him this whole time. "You gave me your body to make fun of me," Vegeta Black says. "And it took you this long to figure it out? Though, to be honest, I did want you to fight Jiren. I really didn't know Kakarot would gatekeep you like this," Vegeta says, laughing hysterically now. He then notices that it's been a while since he was able to think so clearly. Maybe during that fight with Jiren, he was still getting influenced by the Shadow's energy. Now, Goku is just mocking Vegeta Black as he tells him to get up so he can continue beating him down some more. Vegeta Black does get up, but he stumbles and falls to the ground again. He's completely exhausted now. He tries turning into a Super Saiyan again, but he simply just can't do it anymore. "Come on, this is getting boring," Goku tells him, but of course there was no response. This is when Goku personally walks up to him, gathers up some of his own energy, and like he did with Frieza back in the day, he restores Vegeta Black's energy. Black is surprised not just by what Goku did, but also by how much stronger he feels compared to before. He laughs. "So this is what it's like being a Saiyan. Thank you, Kakarot. I think I now understand how this body works." "Oh yeah? Well, show me," Goku replies as he thinks he's finally gonna get a serious challenge. But when Vegeta Black goes Super Saiyan again, he also imbues it with Zamasu's God Ki, and this results in a transformation that he was already familiar with. Thanks to Vegeta's memories, he was already aware of Super Saiyan Rose, but he needed to feel it himself. He needed that first-hand experience before he could access said transformation. It works, and before Goku's eyes, Vegeta Black goes Super Saiyan Rose. Goku, now with a slightly more surprised expression, slowly approaches him, and he approaches Goku in the same manner. They both trade blows, but it seems nothing has changed. The one who ultimately suffers actual damage is still Vegeta Black. At this point, Goku is just straight up disappointed. He realizes that he's not gonna get any actual challenge from Vegeta Black. It just won't happen. He's not Vegeta, he's not even Zamasu or Goku Black at this point. Vegeta, on the other hand, is also kinda disappointed. He thought he could expect at least the same level of competence as the actual Zamasu, but no. This is just a talentless, skillless Shadow, it seems like. Goku finally decides to just end it. He goes all out in true Ultra Instinct and absolutely destroys Vegeta Black. He hits Vegeta Black so fast and so hard that there isn't enough room or time for him to even feel the Zenkai boost coming on. Vegeta finds it kinda odd because in his mind, Kakarot doesn't really fight like this, but eventually it would click to him. It seems like Goku wants to end all of this Shadow nonsense right here and right now, as he's been one step ahead this whole time. This entire time, Goku hasn't been hitting Vegeta's body at all. He's been hitting the Shadow directly. Much like how Vegeta uses Force Spirit Fission and how Goku is able to gather energy from others for things like the Spirit Bomb, it's something a little similar. Oh, interesting. It seems Goku has figured out how to attack one's very existence, Whis comments while watching all this unfold. They were back at planet Beerus. Vegeta observes from inside his consciousness as Goku proceeds to completely eradicate the Shadow from existence. Goku infuses his fist with the purest form of the energy of destruction and punches directly through Vegeta Black, completely dissolving the Shadow out of Vegeta's body and all magical remnants of it. After a few seconds, Vegeta would take over his body again. "Okay, so you expecting a thank you or what?" Vegeta asks. "Nah, just be nicer to Jiren, man," Goku says, laughing. Vegeta smirks. He then approaches Goku while simultaneously entering Ultra Instinct himself. Goku continues to watch silently with a serious face as Vegeta summons a massive amount of God Ki in his hand and blasts Goku with it. But it doesn't hit Goku though, or even do any damage to him. No, it instead hits the curse inside of Goku. Just like how Goku freed Vegeta of the Shadow, Vegeta will return the favor by using Force Spirit Fission to free him of his curse, as these two are honestly just flexing the versatility and power of God Ki at this point. "Aw, thanks, that feels much better," Goku says. "Yeah, likewise," Vegeta replies. Goku and Vegeta give each other a fist bump and then walk back inside together with the young Mastorian. Goku continues his meal while Vegeta also joins in. It's been a long couple of days, and the two of them eat until far past midnight. Meanwhile, at the furthermost edge of Universe 11, there was still Jiren. He was in deep thought, just staring off into space. "Tell me, Master Gishin, what should I do?" Jiren asked. He stopped, but he was definitely gonna kill Vegeta just because that villain was inside of Vegeta. What's worse is that it was mostly Vegeta who was manipulating Jiren into killing him. He just can't believe he let himself be manipulated like that. Jiren, for the first time ever, feels lost with no end in sight, and I don't think even Goku and Vegeta can help him this time. Goku and Vegeta are finally ready for that next step in their training and journey. After Goku Hakkai's Vegeta Black out of existence, Vegeta uses his ingenuity to free Goku from his curse. The first half of What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct 2 is over, and both of our Saiyans have now attained a new, much more advanced understanding of power. Both Goku and Vegeta have become fluent in the ancient practice known as Mystorian arts, and the time it's taken for them to achieve this was almost insignificant. Just insane, impractical levels of growth. But there was still one individual who remained one step ahead, and that was Jiren. Before he left, Goku made him promise that they were going to have a rematch in 1 week's time. As for what Jiren has been up to, well, the last part of our story ended with him standing at the furthermost edge of Universe 11. He was lost. The reason he picked up Mystorian arts was to defeat the villain that killed his master, but look at how that ended for him. Killing the villain meant killing Vegeta, and Jiren's conscience just simply wouldn't allow him to do that. And now, as he just stares into the abyss of space, he realizes that the abyss is also staring back at him. Jiren wonders if it's about time that he leaves fighting for good, but just then, as he turns around to finally return to his home planet, he remembers that he's on the calendar. In less than a week, he has a rematch with Goku, and then Goku's smug face just pops up in his head. Walking away from the pursuit of strength now would mean also walking away from his commitment to Goku. Jiren knows that if he wants to start anew, he must turn back and head north. However, if he wants to return to his old self, all he needs to do is take the plunge. To his north is Universe 11, and to the south is the Abyss. Now then, what to do? Jiren would actually think about it to himself for about 20 or 30 seconds here before jumping straight into that abyss with this smug grin on his face. He was proud of his decision. For now, he would focus on preparing for his battle with Goku. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta were stuffing their faces with food. By the time they're done, the village completely runs out of food supplies, and so the young Mystorian takes them to the capital so they can restock. Piccolo, however, is still just chopping it up with the middle-aged Mystorians. He was confused at first, but now that it's already been about a day, he's become used to their energy. Though, going back to Goku and Vegeta, they see a familiar face at the capital once again. "Oh, deja vu, huh?" Vegeta says. "Ah, it's you guys again." It was Top. He was also in the capital when Goku and Vegeta first arrived here, if you guys remember that part of the story. "Oh, hey Top, what's up? Do you come here to shop or something?" "What's with that bag you're carrying on your shoulder?" Goku asks. Top isn't so sure if he should spill the beans just yet, but he does anyway. He shows them the bag, and it's full of mushrooms. Goku and Vegeta look at what's inside the bag, and then they just look at each other confused. But this is Goku we're talking about, so his hand just instinctively moves. This fool picks up one of the mushrooms and just eats it like he had no self-control. "You damn Muppet," Top says. "What?" Goku says back, trying to feign confusion like he doesn't know what he just did. "Wait, don't tell me these mushrooms were cursed. Not again." Vegeta's calm expression turns to a frown so fast, Goku embarrasses him anywhere they go. "Come on, Kakarot. We're not even in our own universe. Would it kill you to act normal for 2 seconds, Vegeta adds. The young Mystorian isn't overreacting, though. He faces Top and asks how he was able to afford so many of these. Goku and Vegeta also pause and turn towards him. What does he mean by afford? That's the question. Some time ago, a rich planet in the 4th galaxy was about to be destroyed because of a massive asteroid, but I stepped in and took care of it. The planet's king offered me a ridiculous, almost unfathomable amount of gold, and I've been gradually using them to get these mushrooms, Top explains. "And how much is just one of these?" Vegeta asked, knowing that they were going to have to pay him back for Goku being an idiot. "Oh, forget it. Your universe is basically at the bottom. You wouldn't be able to pay me back anyway." "It isn't about the money anyways," Top replies. He was visibly frustrated. Goku actually starts bragging about just how rich Vegeta's family actually is in Universe 7, but Vegeta clocks him on the top of the head to shut him up, and then he asks more about the mushrooms. What are they used for anyway? This is when Toph explains what he's been up to. His planet is at the verge of death. It has about 50 years left at most, which is why he's been using his money to get as many magical mushrooms as he can. He isn't any expert, but this is the only way he can help his planet last. Wait, Goku cuts in. So, I ate one of these magical mushrooms. Am I gonna get a stomachache or what? He asks. Relax, you'll be fine. In fact, you'd be more than fine because at the very least, you're never gonna get sick ever again, Toph states. The young Mystorian also speaks. You know what? Many monarchs would drink the extract of these mushrooms as sort of an elixir of life to live forever. Huh? If they're really that impressive, why doesn't everyone just eat one? Like, I'm sure you can afford one mushroom in your entire life, right? Vegeta asks. Nah, there's actually less than 1,000 of these, he replies. What do you mean? Like, there are only 1,000 of these each season or what? Vegeta asks. No. Since the beginning of Universe 11, there have only ever been less than 1,000 of these. I'm sure this old man here has been traveling far and wide throughout the universe to search for them, the young Mystorian explains. Goku just stares at them like an idiot, while Vegeta asks if he'll get in trouble for eating something so precious, but the young Mystorian explains that fate works in strange ways. Only those who are destined to eat one will ever get the chance to do so. Oh, well, I guess I was chosen by the universe to eat it then. Pretty neat if you ask me, Vegeta. I mean, can I get another one? Goku asks as he tries to put his hand back in the bag, but immediately gets whacked by Toph. Look, this isn't a joke. I've only been able to gather around 18 of these, and you just casually ate one. Whatever, I don't have time. See ya, Toph says, and then he proceeds to walk off. It's not just the mushrooms he was gathering. He was also purchasing other stuff like good fertilizer, oils, and everything else. He was fully intent on single-handedly saving his planet if it came to that. What do you think we should do, Vegeta? I kind of feel bad, to be honest, Goku says. As you should. I'm gonna go check up with Bulma and see if she can create some sort of radar so we can track down these magical mushrooms, Vegeta says. You mean we're going back to Earth, Goku asks? Yeah, let's go. He let you get away with eating one of those mushrooms. The least we can do is lend a hand, Vegeta replies. Wow, I'm a little surprised, Vegeta. It's like you have some compassion now after that evil guy left your body. But you are right, so let's go, Goku says, and the two of them wish the young Mystorian goodbye for now, and they signal Whis that they want to go back home. Sorry, Whis, it seems like I still can't instant transmission to go between universes, Goku states. It's understandable. The universes are disconnected, so unless it's Universe 6, you won't be able to detect anyone's ki no matter how hard you try. It's too far away, Whis explains. They would eventually reach Beerus' planet, and from there, Goku and Vegeta head back to planet Earth. Vegeta returns to Capsule Corp and fills Bulma in on the whole situation, while Goku senses Gohan moving at an insanely fast speed. He locks onto Gohan's ki, instant transmissions, and appears right in front of him. They were millimeters away from colliding, but thankfully Gohan managed to stop in time. Dad, he panics. Yeah, what's up? Where were you off to so fast, Gohan? Goku asks. I could ask you the same, but for now I have an important conference to attend, Gohan replies. He was itching to fly off at full speed again, but Goku grabs his shoulder. Wait, tell me more about this conference, Goku asks. It's on sustainability. Scientists from all over the world have gathered to talk about how we can properly sustain our planet from now on, Gohan replies. Hearing this, Goku just grins and lets him go. However, at night, when Gohan finally returns to his temporary home in the city, he sees that Goku is already there, playing with Pan and talking to Videl as they wait for Gohan to get home. Oh, Dad, it's you. Sorry about earlier, I was in sort of a hurry, Gohan laughs. Oh, it's alright, but I did want to talk to you about something. I want you to come with me to Universe 11, Goku says. Wait, what? Come on, Dad, not another tournament. Wasn't the last one stressful enough, Gohan replies. But even though this is what he was verbally saying, Gohan was already readjusting his schedule in his head to account for being absent for a few days. Goku starts laughing, and Pan also starts laughing. No, it's not a tournament, don't worry. But I do need you to help us inspect this dying planet and see if there's a way we can fix it, Goku says. You're joking, right? Gohan asks. His mind couldn't comprehend that his dad wanted him for anything other than fighting, but sure. They prepare to head to Universe 11. Now, since there's absolutely no telling how long this could take and Gohan's pretty much going to be living in Universe 11 for the foreseeable future, he makes sure that Pan and Videl have everything they could possibly need before he heads out, and being the daughter and granddaughter of Hercule probably helps out quite a bit too. Goku then tells Gohan to just spend the night with his family and they can worry about heading out tomorrow. And with that, Goku returns back home just in time to have dinner with Chi-Chi and Goten. As for Vegeta, Bulma explains that she would have to go to Universe 11 and see the magical mushrooms in person as well. Back in Universe 11, it's been an entire day since Jiren took that plunge. What's going on with him? Well, as it turns out, the so-called abyss that he jumped into was actually a wormhole that takes him straight to Universe 2. It's the fact that he specifically ends up in Universe 2's hell that makes all the difference here. It smells like absolute trash in here, Jiren says. He has no idea he's in hell or what hell even is, but he can tell that the people or beings around him are no good. As for Goku and Vegeta, they decide to return to Universe 11 the next day. Gohan is all packed up and said goodbye to his family. Bulma is planning on taking the entire lab with her via capsules, and it looks like they're all finally ready to head out. Hey Gohan, never thought these two would need our help in saving a planet, right? Bulma says. Yeah, I still can't get over the fact that I'm not needed for a fight. Guess we'll see, Gohan laughs. They all then grab a hold of Goku so he can instant transmission them to Beerus' planet, and then Whis would take them straight to Top's planet. As for the time remaining until Goku and Jiren's rematch, well, it's been about 5.5 days so far, so less than 48 hours left before Goku and Jiren face off for the last time. Who would have thought that one day Gohan and Bulma would be joining Goku and Vegeta in a quest to save a dying planet, and that planet isn't even in Universe 7? Well, in this original fan-made story, things have gotten pretty out of hand to say the least. As Jiren jumps into an abyss and somehow finds himself in Universe 2's hell, Goku and Vegeta bring Gohan and Bulma to Top's planet in Universe 11. Things have really taken quite a few unexpected turns, especially when you consider how the promised rematch between Goku and Jiren is supposed to happen in about 5 days now. Well, in this video, let's just see how the rest of this plays out. So, what do you think? Vegeta asked Bulma. Yeah, the planet's dead, but I don't know. Something feels off. I've studied a lot of planets, but this one doesn't even feel like a planet. It feels like a corpse. And where are those mushrooms again? Bulma asks. Well, there's one in Kakarot's stomach, while the rest are obviously in Top's possession. It seems he's not on the planet right now, although I can sense a few natives living a few thousand miles away from here, Vegeta replies. For real? You should have just taken us there, Whis, Goku asks. Well, Dad, maybe it's because the natives are susceptible to diseases from the outside, or maybe they're just traumatized because of something. Is that right, Whis? Gohan asks. But Whis ignores him and just teleports back to planet Beerus. He leaves Gohan with a kind of awkward and almost ominous feeling after that. Ah, now what? Goku says. The four of them walk around, touch the land, stare at the sky, and just experience the solemn, melancholic dread of the planet that has allegedly been abandoned by the natural law of the universe itself. But was that even really the case? If the planet no longer deserves to exist, then why hasn't Belmont just done his job and destroyed it? Hey, why didn't Top just destroy it himself? I mean, isn't he kinda sort of a destroyer too? Really, it was just making less and less sense why he would go through all of this trouble to gather these rare magical mushrooms from all over the universe, just over the faint possibility that it may revive the planet. That's not really how you'd expect a future destroyer to act. Isn't it weird how even Bulma can talk and breathe just fine, even though the planet is allegedly dead? There's definitely something suspicious about this planet, Gohan states. Yeah, almost as if it's under a spell or something, Bulma replies. Well, whatever, I'm gonna go check up on those natives. Lurking around isn't really gonna lead us anywhere, Goku says, and then he takes off. Gohan was a bit concerned, but Vegeta spares no moment in following Goku after picking up Bulma, which leads Gohan into tagging along as well. Well, it's not really like Whis explicitly told them to not go and meet the natives. However, when they do get there, the gang witnesses tens of thousands of people lying on the ground both outside and inside the buildings. It was an entire civilization with really futuristic architecture and almost utopian city planning, but not even a single one of them was awake, and what's strange is that none of them seemed dead either. At least that's what it seemed like right now. Goku would land on the ground and approach one of them and gently tap him on the face. He knows the guy wasn't dead because he can sense his ki, but even after 10 consecutive slaps or something like that, he still didn't wake up. Apparently, it was the same with every single native in the region. They were all in this weird state of suspension. Even Bulma can tell that these people aren't dead, even though she can't sense their ki, but what is really going on here? After a couple of minutes of introspection, the light bulbs start going off in Gohan's head. I think I know what's going on here. There's only one way to make sense of this suspicious scenario. Guys, listen, Gohan states. He goes on to explain his theory. Somehow, in some way, the lives of the people and the life of this planet have been interchanged, an inversion almost. The people may very well be dead, but who can tell when the energy they're giving off is the planet's energy? This also explains why Top didn't destroy the planet. So it is a spell after all, Bulma remarks. Yeah, and the reason Top is gathering those magical mushrooms must be because he can't solve this with just strength, Gohan replies. Okay, I'm confused. So these people are dead, but the planet isn't, even though it appears to be the other way around or something like that, Vegeta asks. Honestly, I don't really have the best idea, Gohan replies. Meanwhile, we have Jiren. He was still in Universe 2's Hell, and the last time we saw him, he was confronted by a lady named Medusa. He even mentions how it just smells like straight up trash and other things I can't really say on YouTube, but he doesn't know that he's like actually in hell right now. Medusa breaks the truth to him and leaves him stunned. Really? Jiren gasped before immediately regaining his composure. He had to kind of pause for a minute to reconsider if he had committed like any major sins recently that could have led him into ending up here. The serpent-haired lady just laughs. Relax, I can tell that you don't belong here, she says. Oh yeah? What would you know, he asks. Well, for one, you're pretty much wearing a superhero suit, she says, and then continues. Anyways, tell me something interesting and I'll tell you something interesting in return. Jiren feels like he's being toyed with by this older woman, but sure enough, he tells her about the Shadow Realm and everything that happened with Zamasu's shadow. He figured that maybe someone from a completely different universe would find this fascinating, but the serpent-haired lady just yawns. What? Jiren asks. Nothing, it's just that what you're saying is common knowledge among the residents of this realm, she replies. I don't have time for your riddles, just spit it out, Jiren asks her. Okay. Well, I advise you to listen up and listen closely. There are these entities called shadow dragons, and they are born from built-up negative energies. The source of such buildup could be anything, though. It could be those wish-granting Dragon Balls, or forbidden magical arts, or anything else that gets abused for a considerable amount of time, she declares. And? What's your point? Jiren asks. Just that the whole thing with Shadow Zamasu is only the start. I'm sure if you go around your universe closely, you'll notice unusual things going on. It's only a matter of time before something like a Shadow Hydra or a Shadow Griffin or perhaps even a Shadow Demon takes over, she declares. She grins, and this is when she would finally reveal that she's actually one of these shadow beings herself. And although Jiren was a lot more talkative than usual, he fell silent. His mind recalls the last time he met Top and everything Top told him about his planet. Jiren at that time was still preoccupied with his revenge, so he ended up not giving it too much thought, but now that the context has expanded and the worst is yet to happen, well, what now? Jiren would begin trying to find a way back to the wormhole that took him here, but ultimately he calms down. After all, he entered the abyss to reform himself, kind of. He just can't continue being the same way as he's always been. Going back to Goku and the others, Vegeta even tries using his spirit fission to somehow reverse the damage, but nothing happens. Bulma set up her lab here, but she needs to at least see the magical mushrooms to figure out a solution. But nobody knows where Top is or when he's gonna return to the planet, and there was no one who knows how to contact him either. Hey Dad, where's Piccolo? Gohan asks. Now that you mention it, I guess he's still on planet Mastoria, Goku replies, and this is when they decide to split into two teams. Bulma and Vegeta would stay behind to inspect the conditions of the planet in Bulma's remote lab, while Goku and Gohan arrive back at planet Mastoria using instant transmission. Goku introduces his son to the young Mastorian, who then takes them to the village where Piccolo has been hanging out. Looks like you're having fun, Goku says. Hey, where have you been? And what are you doing here, Gohan? I haven't had a moment to meditate since I was brought here. I'm gonna lose my sanity, Piccolo states. For some reason, the locals just really loved Piccolo. Okay, but first, tell me if it's possible to use the Dragon Balls for something in another universe, Gohan asks. That's a pretty interesting question, Piccolo says as he pauses and actually thinks about it for a few minutes. I'd say no. You'd need the Super Dragon Balls for something multiversal, Piccolo replies finally. And as this conversation is taking place, Master Kubo would overhear and enter as well. Dragon Balls, huh? He says. Wait, do you guys also know about the Dragon Balls? Piccolo asks. Nah, we knew about the existence of Namekians, but nothing about the Dragon Balls, so tell me more. What are the Dragon Balls? Are they like the Dragon Star fruit? Master Kubo asks. Piccolo would go on to explain how Namekian societies work and how they have wish-granting dragons, and how you need to gather anywhere from 2 to 7 Dragon Balls to summon this dragon, and then depending on how strong the dragon is, they can grant pretty much any kind of wish. Now, Master Kubo was honestly intrigued, and he even asked Piccolo if it's possible for him to create a dragon for them, but unfortunately it's not that easy. Unless Piccolo assumes the role of Mastoria's guardian, it just can't happen like that. I see. Yeah, that is a stretch. Mastorians have historically been anarchists, so just changing our ways to have a dragon is indeed a stretch, Kubo says. Yeah, and besides, it's not like I'm interested in becoming a guardian either, Piccolo replies. All of them might be having a lighthearted laugh, but Gohan is immersed in his thoughts right now, and he's finally come up with something, so he tries to explain what's going on as simply as he can, but neither Piccolo nor Master Kubo can make sense of it. The preparation for their journey takes about 3 days, and the young Mastorian was actually pretty happy to become friends with Gohan over that time. They also train with each other and share some pretty interesting facts about each other's parents. Finally, when the preparations are in order, they return to Top's planet. Piccolo, Kubo, and the young Mastorian are with them now. The plan is to stay for as long as necessary, but as the days continue to pass, Goku's attention returns to his promised rematch with Jiren. Less than 2 days away now. He's never stopped doing his regular training drills, but little does Goku know, Jiren isn't even in Universe 11 right now. Nobody knows where Top is either, and nobody except Jiren even knows about the incoming catastrophe. Master Kubo walks around the civilization for a bit when they arrive and inspects all the suspended bodies lying around. His extraordinary perception, thanks to the Mastorian arts, allows him to confirm Gohan's theory. The planet is in fact alive, but its energy disproportionately exists within the tens of thousands of natives lying around. But there was also one question that kept bothering Bulma. Hey, do planets have a soul? She asked everyone. In that moment in time, no one was able to give her a clear answer, but what if I told you that in just 1 week's worth of time, everyone in Universe 11 will learn that yes, planets do in fact have a soul. But at that point, it might already be too late. 48 hours left until the promised rematch between Goku and Jiren. Jiren is currently in the hell of Universe 2, and he's become aware of the catastrophe about to happen in his home universe, so his sole objective now is how can he get back to Universe 11. Was this actually a one-way ticket when I jumped into that abyss, Jiren wonders? Jiren realizes that right now, just like how it's always been, he's all on his own. Out of pure curiosity, Jiren asks around and wonders where he can meet the leader of this place. He just wants to know who rules the underworld in Universe 2. The inhabitants give all sorts of varying responses, but no one gives a proper straight-up answer. One response particularly sticks out to Jiren though. One of the inhabitants tells him that the answer probably has something to do with his arrival. Suddenly, it all starts making sense. Guys, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel and turning those notifications on so you're always up to date with Dragon Ball content like this. And be sure to go check out the entire What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct story linked down below. But without further ado, let's hop right into the final chapter. Jiren looks right up, intentionally infusing his eyes with magical energy, and starts seeing the universe in its metaphysical form. There was a partial opening in the surface, and then it got bigger and bigger the more you look at it. Jiren thought that the abyss was the universe showing him the way forward, but no, the abyss is just a passage, and a shadow being has already invaded Universe 11, and check out the previous chapters of this What If for more on the shadow beings. Having realized this, Jiren laughs at himself. All this time, he had been letting things bother him again and again. First, it was about avenging his family and his master by erasing the Shadow Zamasu from existence. Then it was about killing Vegeta after Vegeta absorbed that shadow. Then it was the promise to fight Goku again, but he let himself get distracted and jumped into this abyss. The more aggressive he becomes, the emptier he feels, and so Jiren laughs at how seriously he had been taking everything lately. He starts remembering Goku's smug face and wonders if he should start being more like him for a change. Suddenly, Jiren takes a heavy breath, looks up at the surface, and just jumps straight into it. He jumps so fast that he manages to break the dimensional barrier between the two universes and is able to come out on the other side through the abyss. Now he was back in Universe 11, calmer and sharper than ever before. He doesn't know if Goku is still on planet Mystoria though, but that's irrelevant because he can sense him powering up from halfway across the universe. Jiren uses the surface of a nearby planet to jump in doing so, he destroys the planet to such an extent that it sinks and clogs up the abyss. It doesn't take long before Jiren lands on Top's planet. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Bulma, Piccolo, and Master Kubo, along with the young Mystorian, are all already there. "You're late," Goku tells Jiren. "What do you mean? The fight is tomorrow," Jiren replies. "What? It was supposed to be 2 hours ago," Goku states. "Wait, so you've been powering up for the past 2 hours?" Jiren asks, and then looks around at everyone. Their faces say it all. Goku has been relentlessly powering up for this moment for the past 2 hours. Jiren is a little confused though, because from his perspective, there should still be over a day left until their fight, right? Well, he doesn't think too much of it and just shrugs it off as time that may have been lost during the transition from Universe 11 to 2 and then from 2 back to 11. "Alright Goku, since you're ready, just follow me," Jiren states, and then he jumps up. Goku follows him and they soon find a completely barren planet that's perfect for their battle. "Hey, tell me what you guys have been up to on Top's planet. What happened this past week?" Jiren asks. I mean, nothing much. We heard the whole story from Top and decided to help. "Not sure where he is though. The last time anyone saw Top, he was on planet Mystoria," Goku replies. "I see. And you've not sensed anything suspicious either? Is there anyone else on the planet?" Jiren asks. "Well, the planet is suspicious enough already, and I can tell that something bad is gonna happen, but whatever, man. We'll figure it out when it does happen. For now, the only thing I have in mind is beating you," Goku replies. "This is payback for the tournament." Jiren would grin as he's beginning to understand just what makes Goku Goku. "Alright, let's go," Jiren replies, and then the battle begins. He plunges forward at Goku at an insane speed. The space between Goku and Jiren gets distorted as Jiren pulls up right in front of Goku. Goku would counter him with a punch, but not only does Jiren dodge Goku's fist, he also grabs it and then uses the momentum to send Goku flying straight onto the ground. Goku slams through the planet's surface, and unfortunately he doesn't just bounce off of the ground or anything, he flies straight through the crust and the mantle. He comes out through the other side of the planet, unharmed though and ready to counterattack. Goku simply repositions himself in space and launches a Kamehameha wave straight through that planetary hole that he just came out of. Jiren replies with a power impact, but the pressure completely destroys the planet inside and out. Now it was just a bunch of land and debris floating all over the place. It barely takes Jiren a second or two before he realizes that this isn't just the result of some unintentional collateral damage. As he realizes this, Goku uses the planetary debris to build momentum, and while continuously shifting the direction of his motion, Goku appears behind Jiren and then in front of him again. He does it without giving Jiren any opportunity to respond. As fast as Jiren is, Goku is just using the planet's debris around them to kind of move in an omnidirectional manner. Add that with his Ultra Instinct and Goku is not making this easy for Jiren at all. It's as though Jiren was fighting multiple opponents at once, but even so, Goku has yet to land any serious damage to him. "You're not taking this seriously, are you?" Jiren asks. "Well, you aren't either," Goku replies, and Jiren would stay silent after that. This is a pretty big contrast to his fight against Vegeta, because when Vegeta pointed out that Jiren was holding back, Jiren actually got pretty pissed. Back then, Jiren was unsure about how he was supposed to fight, but now he knows that it doesn't really matter. Before, Jiren was strong. Now, he's a free man. He unleashes his ki and the pressure destroys the debris all around them. So once again, the battlefield would be clear. "Come on, now we don't have anywhere to stand on and I can only control my breath for so long," Goku states. "Relax, I just realized something," Jiren declares. "Seriously? You about to back out or something?" Goku asks. Nah, for now, let's just go back to Top's planet though. We'll resume the fight soon enough, Jiren says. Goku wasn't too sure what was going on, but it seemed serious. So he and Jiren head back to Top's planet, and once they arrive, both of them are left shocked. I wasn't expecting this, Jiren says. What even happened here? Is that Vegeta? What happened, Gohan? Where's Bulma and everybody else, Goku asks. Vegeta is right there standing at a distance, but he's completely cloaked in what looks like purple blood. Gohan reveals that Bulma is actually inside the capsule laboratory, with Piccolo and Master Kubo currently trying to heal her. This further confuses Goku as he asks about what happened to her, so Gohan reveals what happened while Goku was away. While Vegeta was trying to follow Goku and Jiren's battle from here, a shadow suddenly emerged from the surface of the planet and pushed Bulma away. She stumbled and fell down and just started spitting blood and vomiting frantically, while the shadow itself transformed into this draconic looking individual. When Vegeta sees this, his mind goes completely blank. He tells Piccolo to protect Bulma, while Vegeta himself turns completely dark. His hair turns white and then purple. He moves using Ultra Instinct, but even when the guy manages to land an attack, Vegeta pays him back with his own attack. It was a beautiful, almost harmonic mixture of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. And as beautiful as it may have been, with as precise as each switch was from Vegeta, Vegeta would use his newfound understanding of strength to butcher and just straight up rip apart this guy. It was over within seconds. I see. Is there anything left of that guy? Jiren asks. The blood and the small chunks of flesh around Vegeta are all that's left of him, Gohan replies. Jiren approaches Vegeta and takes a closer look at him. It really was a pure bloodbath, and whatever's left of the supposed shadow being isn't alive in any shape or form. But Jiren notices something strange also. The same planet which was deemed dead, now all of a sudden feels alive again. I see. It's just as expected. You defeated a shadow dragon, Vegeta. That's impressive. Tell me, was he strong? Jiren asks. No, Vegeta replies as he walks right past him. Goku notices that despite being cloaked in this disgusting purple blood or whatever from the shadow dragon, Vegeta looks surprisingly serene. Maybe it's already happened. After all this time, after Ultra Ego, after learning and mastering even Ultra Instinct and then the Mystorian arts, and then absorbing Zamasu's shadow and then even curing Goku's own curse. Through it all, Vegeta may have already reached the pinnacle of his own individual strength which he desired. Maybe it's because Goku and Jiren were fighting each other just a few moments ago, but they can tell. Vegeta is no longer their equal. They've both been surpassed by the Saiyan Prince. Goku then walks up to Jiren and asks about what's going on, while Vegeta just walks up to the capsule laboratory and sits outside. Coincidentally, Top finally returns to the planet. He definitely was not expecting all these familiar faces, and he especially was not expecting the fact that his planet was back alive again. What? Top instantly asks. Jiren was about to explain the whole thing when Gohan interrupts and asks Top about the mushrooms and if he has any of them on him. Sure enough, Top showed him a whole bag full. There was 7 of them. Alright, I need one of those, Gohan says. Why? Top asks. Well, I'm gonna try and see if these magical mushrooms are really some sort of magic cure, Gohan replies. This reply intrigues Vegeta as he suddenly steps out of the way to allow Gohan to pass through and feed Bulma the mushroom. 2 minutes later, Bulma was jumping for joy out of the lab. She feels as lively as ever and she starts scolding Vegeta for not taking care of his own personal hygiene. Vegeta would just lightly smirk, happy to see his Bulma back to normal. Meanwhile, Bulma was also surprised. She was gone for like 10 minutes at most and the planet is already back to its natural state? And it's not just the planet either. Gohan tells her that the thousands of natives who were in a state of suspension are now also waking up. And with all of this blessed news, Top couldn't help but start crying. It was a miracle, but no, it wasn't just a miracle, was it? When Vegeta returns all bright-eyed, Jiren explains everything. A shadow dragon had contaminated the planet. It was also him that was messing up the key in this section of the universe. That's why the natives and the planet itself were in such a weird state. That's also why no one was able to sense the dragon's presence. It can disguise itself as dark matter, which, as Bulma explains, is a fundamental part of the universe by design. But now that the dragon was taken care of thanks to Vegeta, Bulma, Piccolo, Master Kubo, and Gohan start helping Top in rebuilding his planet. The process doesn't take long thanks to Gohan and Bulma, who managed to use the magical nature of the mushrooms to plant entire forests on the planet which was previously barren. The natives all rejoice. Life and prosperity has returned to this planet. Vegeta was sitting on a hill observing it all when Goku and Jiren join him. He starts pestering Vegeta for a rematch, which annoys Jiren because it looks like Goku isn't as interested in fighting him anymore, but whatever. Jiren recalls that nothing has actually ended yet. He finds it kinda weird that there was only one Shadow Dragon. There must be more than one, right? And what about the other shadow beings, like the Shadow Griffin or the Nu, among other such dark beings? Well, little does Jiren know, he himself, as the one who completed the rite of passage through the abyss in Universe 2, he's now a shadow being himself. And not just any shadow being, no. Jiren was now the Shadow Dragon of Universe 2. Jiren may not have any idea right now, but his existence itself poses mortal danger to his entire universe. On the other hand, Goku and Vegeta are also currently unaware that their universe is also in danger. In the long and extraordinary history of the multiverse, this shall be the second time that the Shadow Dragons and the Shadow Beings by extension will try to become the true rulers of the multiverse. What these guys don't understand is the moment something happens to Super Shenron, the multiverse is gonna plunge into numerous universal wars. But for now, Vegeta's goal of realizing his own true strength has been achieved. And just like that, the final chapter of our What If Vegeta Learned Ultra Instinct saga is coming to a close. But as they always say, fellas, when one door closes, another one opens. So if you guys would like to see a continuation of this What If story, what if Vegeta learned Ultra Instinct as well? I think in the next arc, I would try my hand at like a Shadow Dragon saga post Dragon Ball Super. Let me know down below in the comments if you would like that, and consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel as well. I truly and sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this saga, and no, I didn't forget about the future Gohan What If, but there's only like 24 hours in the day. I gotta prioritize some stuff, other stuff. You guys get what I'm saying. But anyways, have a great day. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.